Hello, and welcome to the Mocha Minutes podcast. I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find the Mocha Minutes podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn, Castbox, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Find us on any of those platforms or wherever else you catch your podcast. Also, still soliciting for ratings and reviews. If you would be so inclined, please leave us some 5 stars. Leave us some reviews. Would greatly appreciate it. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Mocha Minutes on all 3 of those platforms. If you want to shoot me an email, give me some feedback. Other than on those 3 places, you can email me at mochaminutes@gmail.com. Hello, and welcome back to the Mocha Minutes podcast. I am Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. I didn't mark this as a milestone, but it is a milestone. This is the 150th episode of the Mocha Minutes podcast. I did not think about this when I asked this guest to come, and I'm very excited now. I'm like, this just makes it even better. So not only is it a milestone episode, I have on with me one of my favorite Bravo pages, because not only does she have a Bravo page, but she does breakdowns of all of my favorite shows. She has a purple wall, so she sold me on the purple wall. If you are a Bravo lover, if you are a Black person who loves Bravo, like I am, note I said Black and not person of color. That is another episode, and I'm not going to do that here.
Okay.
So I have Sasha from Bring It Down.
Oh,
the Bravo Breakdown.
Sing the intro song. I love it.
It's like, y'all don't understand. Like, this is how you know it's between you and Diamond from Marsha's Plate. I'll sing y'all theme song. Bravo Breakdown.
Hey.
Bravo Breakdown. It's like, I love this song so much. It's so ridiculous. I just be like, what the hell are you singing?
I love you so much.
I love
you are amazing.
Sasha, how are you?
Oh my God. You just put the biggest smile on my face. I love that. Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Honestly, so excited. I feel like we've been like friends online,
right.
Virtual friends forever. So actually talking to you, I feel like as soon as we start talking, we're just like picking up from like the last time we DM'd each other. Like, oh yeah, girl. Got you.
That I love it. Is so funny because I think Bravo was like, yeah, your Bravo podcast. I'm like, please don't tell them I have a Bravo podcast, because I don't want to be like, what Bravo podcast? First of all, I barely hear any Bravo shit on your podcast. I'm like,
right. You don't want to keep the bar low.
I'm like,
keep the bar low.
It's coming. It's I feel like I talked up Obi's podcast. I'm like, you need a podcast for real. And now he has a podcast. I'm like, yes. So probably I feel like someone else is going, when is your Bravo podcast coming out? I'm like, yeah, I gotta get that together because it's stuff I want to do. But it's like, there's so many Black Bravo lovers. This is why I kind of seek Black Bravo people out. Because I have very complicated thoughts about the Bravo fandom. I was like, it's bad when I'm like, I typically leave like Bravo pages alone, but if I gotta block your ass, you done pissed me off.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, it's
a block is a choice. I mean, that's.
I was like, I can't do this with you. I'm like, I'm following you. I'm blocking you. I'm like, girl, leave me alone. Because some people are really they're very brave behind their private pages. I'm like,
girl,
I'm not.
Who do you think you are?
I know the Bravo, they're very strong, opinionated, the Bravo lovers, the fandom community, they're very opinionated. They take the Bravo very personal. But I remember, I think it was Monty, she was talking about how she intentionally put, and you too as well, a picture of yourself on your profile picture. And when I first started my page, I didn't do that because I didn't see any of the other Bravo pages doing that. They all would have like, you know, pictures or logos or
memes. It was like, oh, you're a guy? I'm like,
right, exactly. So their profile picture, I was like, okay, I need to make my profile picture a picture of my face. So they know, okay, I'm Black.
Right.
So everything that I'm saying is from a Black perspective. So if you're not Black, don't DM me anything.
You're not going to get, please don't. Please don't.
If you have a problem with what I have to say, keep it to yourself. Because if I'm telling you I'm experiencing something from my Black experience, and that's true, it's factual, period.
It pretty much is. I'm trying to think. It's like, because I talked to so many people. It was back when, I think it was early on in the season of Beverly Hills, and you were talking about Sutton and the kitchen comment. I was like, I listened to your recap going, I feel so seen, because I literally thought the same thing. I was like, what the fuck? What kitchen, Sutton?
I know. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. My mom called me as soon as she was watching it too. And she's like, was that me?
Did you hear that? I was like,
I thought it was because she's old. She's like, maybe it's just a generational thing. I'm like, no, it's a racist thing.
It's a racist. It's a white, she's a white Southern woman. I'm like,
Southern woman, ancestors owned slave. You know, it's just what it is. She is around Black people that are of service to her. These are not people that she, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like
if you're using a hot comb, no, the irony of it is just it's so funny. But
did anybody else hear this? And there probably are two schools of thought of how Garcelle handled it. She handled it in a way of a Black woman who's been in Hollywood for like at least 30 years.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I didn't expect her to do anything like, what the fuck you just say?
No, she was never going to do that. And their job is on the line. And when they filmed that, the climate wasn't what it was when it was airing. So she probably didn't feel like she would have had anybody even have her back, even if she had. But now, the way that it is now, if you stand up and say something is wrong and no one stands behind you, and you publicly say that no one stood behind you, then their ass is on the line now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not okay now to just like be okay with racism. Yeah. Like, you have to be anti-racism.
Yeah.
You have to be anti-racist.
I don't say nigger. You have to be like,
it's more than that.
It's like, it's a lot further. I'm like, racism.
It needs to make you very uncomfortable. No, it needs to make you very uncomfortable. And you need to not be able to be in a space that allows that. That's what it needs to be at this point. Because I know that for me, anything that I feel racism, any issue, I would never enter a space and be there and like not say anything, just as like a human being. Like, do you have any integrity or what? Pretty much.
It's like, it's amazing. And I think I'm someone who talks about trans issues, and I had a friend who said, why are you so vocal about that? I'm like, because they're people. And it's like, that's it. I'm like, I don't need to. And I think, and I don't know if it's just like us as Black women, we fight for everybody. So it's like, when you see non-white people just go, but what is your buy-in to this? I'm like, their humanity. And it's like, I didn't realize that seemed so weird. It's like, why would you be like, trans women are women, trans men are men? I'm like, do you have trans people in your family? No, I don't. Think so, but they don't need to be in my family. Do you know trans people? Like, I do, but I thought that way before I met them. But sure, okay, I don't. Like, I guess it has to be a buy-in for you, but for us, for Black women, it's like, we're so used to fighting for everybody. I'm like, we're just doing it because it's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. And it's like they're used to the way that they ally, which is they ally on things that affect them personally. And trans is so far, it's so far out of their mind of what they're thinking about. They're barely thinking about Black people in general. So for them to think about a trans Black person is just like, you might get that.
It's like,
that's the last thing on their list.
I have Black on my plate. That's all I can handle.
That's
all I can carry on my little tray. I'm like, girl,
come on now.
All right, please do.
I know. And that I relate to that so much because my brother is trans, and I talk about trans issues a lot in my stories and stuff. And I never really like mentioned that, oh, I'm saying this because my brother is trans. But I mean, obviously it really is really important to me, even more so because of that. But I remember like, I wondered why. I was like, oh, why haven't I ever mentioned that? But it's exactly what you said. Like, I don't need to justify the reason why I think trans lives matter. But I did have someone DM me and ask me that, and I did tell them that was the reason why. But then that got me thinking about what you exactly just said. Like, why did they DM me? Why do they need to know why I care about trans
It has
lives?
to be like a reason. And
Yeah.
it's like, we have to get away from that.
Yeah.
It's like, you shouldn't have a reason. It shouldn't take you seeing because outside is closed and you saw a Black man die for 8 minutes and 45 seconds to be like, okay, things have to change. I remember having this conversation with my friend and she was just like, it's so weird. I don't understand. And I was like, I was walking around Aldi's and I'd circled and I went, I know exactly why people are reacting this way. And she's like, why? Because they couldn't argue against it. You could argue against Trayvon, which you shouldn't have, but they did. Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, Michael Garner. It's like Eric Garner, not Michael Garner, Michael Brown. So it's like there was an argument there, but for some reason for George Floyd, there wasn't a big argument. And only the extremely racist, very people who were like, it's seeping out of their pores were like, mentally ill. If you just follow directions, you would be fine. I'm like, put on a mask. First of all, civil rights.
Right.
That cracks me up every time. I'm like, but you say if we follow directions,
it's so
you don't
fucking
have
stupid.
to follow. Yeah. So I was like,
I put those type of people in a category of mentally ill, like period. Like no sane person, it's not logical.
Racism is very illogical and irrational. It's like
insane.
It's silly for you, and it's insane for you to hate somebody for something they can't
control.
Change.
So you need help.
They can't control, and they wouldn't want to. It's just it makes my blackness makes you uncomfortable,
right?
Not me. Somebody else's culture, ethnicity makes you uncomfortable, not them. They're like, I like being from Mexico, bitch. What you mean?
Right.
Y'all come here all fucking summer, but all of a sudden it's bad being Mexican. Get out of my face. Everybody in Tulum. I'm like, did I miss something? Are there free flights to Tulum? I was like, I had never even heard of this place until outside closed. I'm like, I'm going to Tulum. Hi, where the hell is that? It's in Mexico. I'm sorry, what?
Right. Now that it's the Instagram spot to go, now everybody want to go.
I'm like, did I miss it? That's it. I'm gonna be an influencer. I'm going to Tulum. It's over. Yeah. So I'm gonna go to the next city over. No, there's no next city over. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I missed out on being a influencer in Tulum. And we are just talking. But I have to say again, Sasha is the Bravo Breakdown. Please tell everybody about the Bravo Breakdown.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So the Bravo Breakdown, you know what's funny? When I started it, I thought there was no way that handle was going to be available. And it was. I was like, oh my God, I have to do it now. And I was like, okay, now there it is. It's a sign. The handle's available. So you have to do it. So I got the handle. And I really was just like, you know, I'm used to working on camera so much because I'm an actor. So I've worked on camera for so long. So it really came naturally for me. I think that if I hadn't done, because I've done literally so even prior to COVID, most of my auditions were self-tapes.
Oh, okay.
I've done hundreds, probably thousands of self-tape submissions. So I'm just so used to filming myself and then self-correcting. Like I can I'll hear myself say something and know the inflection is not quite gonna land how I want it to because I'm so used to watching myself in playback. So because of that, it made it really like effortless for me to do recaps because I'm like, okay, what is the reaction that I had when I was watching it? Now, can I reproduce that? And because of my acting background, I can reproduce it on camera. Like it just by a note that I've written, you know what I mean? So that was really the part of it. I was like, okay, this is a skill set that I have that I've been working on. Like I can do this because I didn't want to start something that was going to be something else that's like, a dread, you know, like, I don't want it. I didn't want it to be like that. And you know, this stuff can easily get like that. I mean, you can understand that just the work. So I was like, I needed to be something that's like something that I'm already doing. And I'm just kind of taking it into a new space.
Right.
So then pandemic, I'm not doing anything, watching TV. I'm not even auditioning because everything's shut down. All the productions are shut down. That was like, we were the first ones to go. The artist, you know, I mean, do you do art outside of this? Are you?
You would think so, but I don't.
I work in corporate. Oh, really?
Yes, I work in corporate. It's so funny to watch just people just handle shit wrong because I'm in HR. So I'm like,
interesting. Yeah.
I want to scream because this is bad and you were handling this wrong.
Okay,
Like,
interesting. You totally seem that you. Well, that's probably why you're so great at this, because this is your
Thank
big
you.
outlet. You can just like really.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna put this here. I'm like, I'm not discussing this on the timeline because
Right.
nuance is not where I'm like, there's nuance. Taria always hear me talk about nuance. I'm like, there's nuance to this, and you can't get nuance in. It used to be 140 characters, and now it's 280.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, even still, y'all still don't. And Twitter is going to probably suspend me for this, or at least take away my voice notes. I'm like, I don't know why the fuck y'all just gave me voice notes, because good to hell luck.
Oh my God.
I finally got them and I went, and it was so sweet. It was like a whisper. I'm like, what the hell is this purple thing? I'm like, oh, I have voice notes.
Game changer.
Oh boy, guys. Okay. Fun's over. But I just love, and I love how you were like, I was at home and it's like, I just started doing it because, well, we closed.
What else you gonna do? What else are you gonna do?
It is you're creative, and it's also a creative outlet. So that's dope.
Yeah.
Because
I was like, at the end of this, because I had a feeling it was gonna go on pretty long. Like I just sensed it in the beginning, just because I could just see the difference between how my family lives in North Carolina, and just hearing how slowly they were like starting to wake up to the fact that COVID was real. Not my family, but just like everyone in that area, anyone that I would speak to. And then the contrast to how we were handling it in LA, I was like, oh, this is going to be a minute. It's going to be a minute.
Because didn't the whole state shut down?
Oh yeah, we were not playing games in LA. It was like March 14th, but nothing. Everything was shut down. And for months, up into March, April, May, it had to be like June or something. I'm talking to my family at home. They're still just going out. They have to wear their masks, but it seemed like life was seemingly the same. So that's when I was like, okay, there's a disconnect here when it comes to different places in the country that are taking it seriously and that are not. So with that in mind, I was like, okay, I don't want to come out on the end of this and have only watched Bravo for however many months, because I was going to do that regardless.
Like, I'm still watching this, but y'all should let me. These are my fifis on this, and this is my fifis on this.
Right, exactly. So that really was all it was. It's just like, I gotta do something with this time that I have. So I just started recording them, and it was just like one of those things where I was talking to Danny Pellegrino the other day. It was like, it's really empowering for me to be able to create content and like really force open this space. Yeah, like a platform, a stage, for you to have a voice as a Black woman in a space where we are not most likely not going to be represented otherwise. Like if we're not doing it, if you, me, Taria, Monty, we're making it happen. We're creating this space for the younger generation to come into this community. And that is
comfortable with themselves.
Comfortable. And for us to be a part of the beginning stages of, we're a part of this movement, this space that we've created. And it made me feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm not just talking about Bravo. Like I'm actually being a part of this conversation, this sort of pushing the needle in the direction of like, oh, Black can come in various shades, various backgrounds. You and I can have different opinions, even though we're both Black. You know what I mean? So that was really what kept it going. Because if it had been just like me just talking Bravo, I think it probably would have fizzled out for me. Yeah. But because of all the layers that were there and all the places that were available for us to get in there and get that Black experience and sort of break it down and shine a light, that's really what like ignited that fire. The first one was probably, like you mentioned, the Sutton one. That was the first time where I was like, oh my gosh, there's something bigger that can be said about this that can help. And the amount of DMs that I got of people saying like, I had no idea. They just didn't, like, oh, they didn't know.
That's not okay. No, like, it's not okay. And I'm like, I'm so glad it's not just me. And that's why I really, really love your page, because one, you're unapologetically yourself. And you're not, and it's like when you're stepping into the Bravo space, because it is very, very white. Very, very. It's kind of like, you kind of like, should I be myself? Should I kind of tiptoe around this? And it's like, yeah, no, fuck that. Outside is closed. I'm not I'm not putting shit sugar coated. No, this is just how it is.
And at the end of the day, even if I can sugarcoat it or not, they're neither one of them, they're still gonna kill us anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so what's the point? I may as well be black and loud and proud because nothing's going to save my life when it comes to a racist and the racism in this country.
Oh,
you know
absolutely. I love reminding people. I'm like, hi, Martin Luther King Jr. went to jail in a suit.
Hello?
I was like, y'all, like, it's because like he went to jail in a suit, and no one talks about letters from Birmingham jail and how he became a little bit more Malcolm towards the end.
Okay.
So it's like no one knows that conversation that Martin and Malcolm had. Wow. Nobody knows what was said in that room.
Oh my God.
And he was on the FBI's most watched list. So him and Muhammad Ali, when you see white people doing all these quotes, I'm like, you do realize your ancestors hated Muhammad Ali. It's like, guys, I'm like,
yeah,
this is what's, and I told people in 2016 when this happened with Colin, in 20 years, they're going to act like everybody was on board with Colin Kaepernick.
Right. Exactly.
Like, guys, he so is annoying. The new Muhammad Ali. They're like,
yes,
what?
He is.
Like, yeah, because everyone's going to have revisionist history.
Yeah.
Like, man, I thought it was bad with Potomac fans, but it is definitely bad with people. I look at Martin Luther King. It's like, y'all ain't got nothing on them. Like, wow. It's like, y'all just have selective amnesia. He's like, man, I've always loved Muhammad Ali. No, y'all didn't. Like, I love Martin Luther King. He was on the FBI's most watched. What you think they were just watching him because they just like him so much? Like, I like that Martin. Let's just keep an eye on him because that's what the FBI's list is for. People we like.
Right.
Y'all
amnesia.
And it's definitely selective.
Oh, selective. You know it.
Because y'all don't do that with Jane Fonda. I'm just kidding.
Oh, no,
they do. They're like, fuck her. They're like, let me tell you something. She is anti-American. She'd be like, kiss my white ass. I'd be like, see? She's in the 43%.
Right.
47%. Clearly. Because her and her son don't take no shit. Because I'm like, I keep forgetting that dude from Ballers. That is Jane Fonda's son. I literally keep forgetting that.
You know, it's one of the ones that slips through for me too, that I'm like, oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that is James Fonda's son. A whole black wife. I was like, yeah, that's on brand for him.
It's like that works like, perfectly fine for me. Thank you.
I mean, I could say that he doesn't have like the crew, the buzz cut, so I could call him the black woman's whore, but he doesn't have that. But still, I feel like I could still call him. See, TikTok is the devil for me because I'm like, when she said, if you have a buzz cut, if you're a white guy with a buzz cut, you are the black woman's whore. No, I'm not going to explain this.
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
And of course, the first picture was Chris Evans. I'm like, he is the black woman's whore. I'm sorry, I hate to break it.
Oh my gosh, I've not heard anyone. I've never heard that before. That's so true.
God, that is true. Oh my God. Okay, y'all.
Hilarious.
Yes, Chris Evans is our Chris. That's why he's the best Chris.
Yep.
It's not up for debate. I mean,
absolutely.
And mind you, I should say,
I agree.
Hemsworth is the best because we have the same birthday. But I have a very complicated relationship with Leo men because, well, I'm a Leo. Barack Obama's an Leo, so I have more unicorns and more exceptions than rules. But yeah, somebody out there is going to go, so actually, nope, you're not. Nope. No, don't talk to me about Leo man. Please don't. I am a Leo, and I've also dated a Leo man in Lord the Ghetto. It is the ghetto.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hilarious.
Okay. Oh my God.
You are cracking me up right now.
My head is pounding because I'm laughing because it's funny. So we're going to get on started, but before we slide all around, time to give some people their roses. Everybody knows what is happening since I don't know, November 4th. But I like to give people their roses while they are here. Because I'm like, this is a genius idea. So I started doing that on my show. So I'm giving my roses to Stacey Abrams.
Yes.
And Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Mind you, it's like basically all black women that voted. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's like our whole voting block. The voting block that are black women.
Yep.
And when I say this, everybody, I mean cis and trans. Every person who identifies as a black woman.
Yep.
I'm giving you my roses. I need a coupon code. So bitch Sash, send me one so I could give everybody some roses because it's gonna get really expensive. But yes, black women, you're getting your roses, and I'm so glad we're getting recognition for this. because this has been for a very long time. And when we keep saying Black women are most pragmatic voting bloc in this country, everyone's like, no. And then here comes some random ashy ass dude going, well, what about Black men? What about you?
What about it?
I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, you're the second most pragmatic. Okay, you're not, but sure, we'll give you yourself. Here's a pedal. Leave us alone. It's like, you can't just let us just have this. It's like,
I know.
Like, baby, we got the numbers.
Right.
We have the numbers.
Yeah.
And we actually are very pragmatic. It's like, as much as someone I feel like, oh yes, thank you. Like they're going to save us. I'm like, we're saving ourselves.
Yep.
We are the pilots landing this plane. You are passengers in our plane.
Absolutely. And it's always been that way.
We're saving ourselves.
It's the beginning.
We're trying to save ourselves. We're trying to save the sister next to us. Y'all just happen to be there with us.
Exactly.
We're not doing this for you. We're doing this for us.
No. You just benefit from this is not new. That's the main thing that I want people to understand. Like Black women didn't just start fighting in this election. This is Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, like there's a reason why they've been breaking barriers forever. For years. So like, I'm not surprised at all. And I'm so proud.
Yes.
So proud of us. It makes me so proud to be a Black woman. And for, we're at the bottom of the list. We are the bottom of the totem pole, the most hated, the last people that they want to save or speak up for or defend. Right. So for us to be the ones that are out there doing the heavy lifting, it just goes to, Black women, if we honestly, like, that's why I just think that the most important issue is intersectionality and feminism. Because if we could get these white women
to actually recognize this and not value your whiteness more than your gender, then we could get somewhere.
Thank you. That is the key to the term, because it's not Black against white. It's the white men. That's the issue. White men. So now if we can get our white men and all our different shades of melanin all on one side, there's no way that we can't rise to the occasion. We can take over the entire planet.
We really could. It's kind of like, it's so interesting to watch, because when we talk about because there's so many different ones, because you look at white women who value their whiteness over their gender. Yes. And then you look at Black men who value their gender over their Blackness, but then tell you that they value their Blackness more. And I'm like, so yeah, I'm not sure about that, because it's not necessarily that you want equality. You just want to do what the white man does to us. And I'm like, so I have a big problem that's upsetting me and my homegirl. I'm like, well, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but y'all ain't getting nowhere without us. So it's very interesting that you think you can replace us.
Thank you.
Please.
I see it so clearly with like Black men, when they want a cat call on the street versus, oh, my sis, my beautiful chocolate queen.
Grand Rising.
Yes.
I will spray you with, where's the raid?
Thank you.
Where is my mate?
And then the switch to bitch is like, so quick.
Why are you not smiling? I'm sorry.
In an instant.
Why are you not smiling? Why are you not making me feel better? Nikki said it right. It's like,
thank you.
Lie to me.
Don't
bring me. Excuse me. Why do I need to have disarray in my home, but you can smile at the job? Keep it corporate, baby. Keep it corporate right here too. It's like, absolutely. No, lie to me. Don't be like, don't tell me sweet nothings.
Thank you.
We don't really want y'all to lie, because we tired of you niggas lying to us. However.
But in that situation, yes.
Keep it cute or keep it on mute. I'm about sick of y'all. It's like, pick one. Yeah. It's like, and the bad part about it is women are always marching for you. Y'all couldn't, like, a lot of you couldn't bother to get up for Breonna Taylor.
I know.
All of a sudden it's like, yeah, let's get up for Breonna Taylor. This happened when? When it happened? We told y'all,
patriarchy.
Where the hell you been? Where the hell you been? This is why I like talking to Anthony, the guy from Jersey. Sat outside this woman's house for 90 days straight. Still was going to work. I was like, wait a minute, time out. Because when I heard the story, I'm like, I thought you didn't have a job. He's like, oh no, I had a 9 to 5. You did for 90 days straight? He's like, yeah. He's like, I got off at 5 and I would go right there. And then people were like, you need to take a break. So I went at 7. I'm like, wait, what?
Wow.
like, that whole conversation was just like, wow. And it's like, he's like, I just sit back and watch, man. And I'm just like, I'm like, you know what the other part about that is, Anthony? People were thinking like, nobody just does anything nice for a Black woman because they don't. It's like, you got to have some sort of buy-in. If a man is nice to you, it's probably he's related to you, he's married to you, or he came out of you. It's not like you can't just, you got to get something out of us because you can't just be nice to us because, I mean, what's the benefit to you? Which is super fucking weird to me. It's
sick. It's sick.
It's just gross. And it's just like, and it's like, if you even say like, treat women better, you are such a beta. Is treating me bad beta behavior? Right. It's like, wait, is that better? Like, I didn't do this. That's beta behavior?
Yep.
Where have I been? Like, wow. Man.
I know it's I wish that white women could realize that.
Because they don't want to face that part. It's like, guys, it wasn't called the Sons of the Confederacy. It was called the Daughters of the Confederacy.
Guys, speak it. I mean, like, wake up.
It's like, white men were not the only people who were hanging and whipping us. I just wanted to let you guys know. It's like that scene from 12 Years a Slave where Lupita was talking about slips of soap.
Yep.
Oh, she wasn't talking to child. It's like,
and the white bitch was the one to slap the shit out of her.
Literally the dog piss out.
Literally.
And it was just like, you do realize, I'm like, y'all had this hand in white supremacy too, but it's kind of like Black men, white men do the same thing. Y'all really shouldn't be mad at us. You should be mad at these white men. White men who have figured out the biggest gag.
Yep.
Rich white men tell the reason that poor white people is that you're poor because of Black and brown people. They're the reason you're poor. I'm like, not me who overtax you.
Yes.
It's them brown people who's out there picking that cotton. You could be doing that. You didn't want to do it. A Black man had to invent a way to make this quicker and save some time.
Right.
Not for you. He's doing it for himself. Like, look, I'm tired of bleeding because of picking cotton.
Okay. Speak the truth.
I'm tired of y'all. Okay. So yes, we're giving the roses to Black women.
Yes.
I don't want to hear like, what about Black? No, we're not talking about you. It's okay to give us our due. It's just acknowledgement. This is not rewarding us because quiet as it's kept. Stacey was only doing this in Georgia and she flipped because of her and her organization and people working. And you know, it wasn't just her organization. It was a lot of people going, we are tired of Georgia being red, and they flipped Georgia. How y'all? We'll get to the election later, but no state was flipped red. None of them. It's like, yeah, they're sick of his ass too, and y'all should have been sick 2 years ago, but you didn't want to because, well, outside was still open.
Okay.
Outside was still open.
Period.
So that's why y'all, but yeah, let's come Johnny come lately. Okay. You know, I'm gonna tell you something off mic because there's something that's been bothering me. I'll tell you off mic because she tried it and she's been trying it and she get on my nerves. Okay. Sorry. All right. We're going to move on.
Okay.
We're going to play Am I the Asshole? Now, for everybody who doesn't know, Reddit, which I don't really go on. I like Alexis though. I'm glad he's now using washcloths because love yourself more, beloved. Because I don't understand just went in the bar and just put them like, but I feel like that doesn't work.
Yeah, I need a little bit more friction.
I'm like,
I need something
at least
to absorb something.
Like,
I need the exfoliation to get the dead skin off.
I saw a tweet last week about somebody like, do you wash in the shower? Do you wash your whole body or just your genitals? I'm like, time out. What's going on? You're in the shower. You are not Summer Walker getting a bucket and having a bath not a bird bath. I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so not only y'all not washing your legs, y'all not washing your whole body. What is going? And y'all just want, and the bad part, I'm glad y'all washing your genitals because y'all just want somebody to suck your dick. But I'm like sitting here like, wait, why wouldn't you? Showers are fantastic. What is wrong with y'all?
I know.
Okay, so
it makes no
sense.
Will never make sense to me. It will never make sense.
I don't understand. I'm like, why are y'all not? But you're in the shower.
It seems like it's more work to not wash yourself.
I'm like, you gotta like aim for not get your
right. You dipping in Dodge and get your hair wet.
What is this Dodge shower dodgeball? Dip, dive, and dodge. It's like what? So am I the asshole? It's on Reddit, but there is a Twitter handle that brings Reddit stories to Twitter for all of us to just go, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Because typically you're gonna say, yeah, you sound like the asshole. And there's acronyms you use. At first, when I got to the Twitter, I was like, what's NTA? Oh, I'm stupid. It's not the asshole. Look, y'all, don't lose your Reddit stuff on Twitter. Write whole words. We got 280 characters. Right. Write whole words.
Right.
So I always like to play, am I the asshole? So am I the asshole for telling my mom I'm not making her choose because I'm happy to be left out? That's a lot because it's your mama.
Right.
So I'll read the story, y'all. I, 26 female, recently divorced after learning my sister, 27 female, which let me just do some math, but sure. All right. And husband were having an affair. I cut my sister off the day I found out. We have not spoken since. We have not been in the same room for more than 10 seconds, and I will not have a relationship with her moving forward. This year has been rough, and COVID made some things easier regarding there was no visiting family, so the pressure was gone. But recently, my mom wanted to have a family dinner again, and I told her I would not go because I did not want to be in my sister's presence. She told me I can't avoid her forever. She's my sister, and we share family. I told her I can and I will. Her response was telling me I'm being unfair, making her choose between us. And I said, I'm not making her choose because I'm fine not being invited. I know my stance means I will end up being excluded, but I will not play nice with her and my ex, especially now that they are getting married too. We're never going to play happy families. I don't want to be civil to them, so I would rather not have anything to do with them, and they will never have anything to do with me again. My mom thinks I'm being unfair. Am I the asshole? You know what, Tyler? You don't have to workshop none of your movies to Reddit, okay? Because I'm like, what in the Tyler Perry hell is this?
You're right. Oh my God, it's like, so Tyler Perry.
It's like, are you workshopping your ideas now, Tyler? Because I feel like this could be a stage play.
It really could. It really could.
Okay, so what's your vote?
My vote is she's not being an asshole because I don't really need to be around my ex with my sister.
That's getting married to you're my sister.
Married. 1 year apart.
1 year apart. Girl.
That's a lot. And I get it. Like, I don't plan on holding a grudge forever because, whatever. But in the moment, right, wherever I'm at right now in my process of getting over it, right. You're not going to fast forward my process. If I'm not at a place where I feel like I can be civil, I don't need it. Like, you can exclude me.
Don't want it.
No, I'm good right now. And then maybe one day she'll wake up and be like, oh, that's fine. And not have any attachment to it, no emotional residual feelings left over. But if she's not there yet, then honey, no.
Yeah, like your whole sister decided to sleep with your husband, and your mama is like, "Well, y'all family." It's like, fuck the family. Family, fuck my husband. Sorry,
thank you.
Sorry. See, you know what? See, when Terry pulled out that knife to try to stab Faith, y'all were like, "Oh, that's crazy." No, it's not. I will.
Okay.
Like, no. I'm like, this is not family. I know we're like at this point where it's family over everything, but it's okay for y'all to have boundaries, and it's okay to cut toxic people out of your life. You are not obligated to keep them around because they are blood relatives. You're not wishing them dead.
Right.
It's just, it's weird to watch parents put you in that situation where it's like, oh, well, he's your brother. Are you telling her that? Are you telling her she's my sister when she fucked my husband?
Right.
Or no. It's like, no, why is your mama not understanding? I was like, my mama would not be like, oh yeah, so we can be cool.
She shouldn't involve herself. Honestly, and it's like, no, maybe she'll hold a grudge forever, maybe not. But I would think for me, if that were me, I'd probably be in therapy and I will eventually be able to be in a space with my mom. Because I mean, I don't want to say I don't never want to be with my sister and my mom ever in the same room for the rest of my entire existence. But for her to put, like you said, like the mom's crossing the boundary by putting her in that situation. So really, I got a bone to pick with both of you.
Yeah. It's like, where's your dad? Do you
Yeah.
have an uncle?
Where's
Do you
her
have a
dad?
cousin?
Can
I'm
we
like,
get a
I need more
mediator?
family here.
On my side.
Where's her sister? I'm like, so let me ask
Somebody
you something,
else.
Franny. If I
Right.
fucked your husband, would I still be invited to Thanksgiving? You probably
Right.
say no. So shut the fuck up, Fran.
Exactly.
I'm like, what? Yeah. Getting like, I want all my children here. I'm like, well, then
No.
your daughter should have thought about that before she fucked my husband.
Exactly.
He's a piece of shit and he can like choke, but
right.
No, I'm not doing this with you. Yeah,
No,
you are not the asshole.
No, you were not.
And Tyler, stop workshopping your ideas unless it's going to be better written. I hear you're looking for writers, so hopefully you're reading for editors.
Please.
I hope you're looking for both. I have no problem being your editor. I would love to edit. I'm like, so let me tell you why a Black woman who goes on a date would not wet her hair at 1 a.m. if she got to get up at 5 a.m. Let me tell you how that's stupid and that wouldn't happen.
Never.
I'll scream in my house like, what the fuck is she doing? Why is she wetting her hair? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. She got to get up at 5 because she got to be to work at 7. No. Oh, that's right. Fuck me, right? Because I'm a Black woman and I don't know this. You know what? Let me leave Tyler Perry alone. I enjoy his stuff.
Don't you know?
Don't
you know Black women sleep in their wigs?
Right. I'm like,
take our wigs off at night.
Like, she don't even have a satin pillowcase, but she got an ashtray, bitch.
Right.
Oh my god! I'm like, why did he have to look like this? What year is this supposed to be? But God, Brooks, I remember. See, he don't need facial hair because I remember he was eggs on True Blood, and I'm like, he's so fine. And now I'm like, why y'all keep putting hair on this nigga's face? This is not a thing. This is not a look. I need this to stop. I need y'all to stop attacking me because. And this is sidebar because you're an actor. A lot of people know that I have. I feel personally assaulted by Louis Tan and his looks. So I just want to say, I tell everybody I know, I'm like, first of all, I am personally attacked.
Let me get a visual.
Because Louis Tan, Lewis, tan like the color, is an extremely handsome man that lives in California. He's now in Australia because they're doing reshoots for Mortal Kombat. Don't ask me how I know all of this.
I see Mortal Kombat, Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Wu Assassins, which Netflix give us a season 2 because season 1 was pretty good. And my brother is the one who actually told me about Wu Assassins because he watched it. I'm like, you should watch it. I'm like, you could have told me Louis Tan was in this. Why the fuck didn't you tell me? He's like, I didn't know that you liked him. I mean, I don't know. He always goes, I don't know.
So you say his looks are, how do they make you feel? His looks?
I feel personally attacked. I am attacked. I'm not following him. It's just, well, he's insanely attractive.
He is. He's a cutie.
He's
really
bad.
A very hot guy.
It's very bad.
Yeah. The
sidebar. So we're gonna go into low key. We're gonna not talk about Stephanie and her love for Louis Tan.
Oh my gosh! Now I have a new crush. Because I had a crush on the Asian dude in Insecure.
Oh boy, the guy, the Australian. I'm like, why are you, sir? That Australian dude has a whole Black girlfriend. I'm like, oh
yeah.
You about this life? Oh, okay, I know. You about this satin pillowcase life?
I know. I was like, okay, I'm down with that.
Like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, why does he have an accent? Why does he sound like Chris Hemsworth? Oh, he's from the Australia. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's
they always want to sneak it in there.
Like, really?
You watching them for a whole season. I know. They always want to add that little accent on there.
I was kind of upset that he cut his hair, but I'm like, you are kind of cute with it though.
It's cute. I know. I know. It's cute.
Okay. You know what? How did we get here? It's Stephanie's fault. Anyway, so let's start low key. And Alex Trebek, I feel like, has been part of literally all of our lives.
Yeah.
Because everybody's mama, grandmama, auntie, yourself, because hello, there was College Jeopardy, has watched this man on television. When he said he had pancreatic cancer, I was just like, oh no, this is not going to go well. Unfortunately, on November 8th, which my father? Why is stuff always happening on my father's birthday? November 8th, 2016 was the election. November 8th, 2020, Alex Trebek passed away at the age of 80. That is a loss. I feel like we can just retire Jeopardy. I'm like,
Jeopardy.
I guess
I think so.
We're fine with it.
No, I think we should too.
I see the rumbles of maybe getting LeVar Burton to do it, and I'm like, I wouldn't be too mad at that. But
I wouldn't be mad.
This is not Family Feud where they've had multiple hosts. It's like, I think Alex Trebek has always been the host, so this is going to be different. It's kind of like trying to replace Pat Sajak.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of those people where it's like he is Jeopardy.
Yeah, it's like you can't not think about him. And I didn't realize this until my mother told me, but recently he had been wearing a wig. I didn't know he was wearing. I was like,
really?
He was wearing a wig. She's like, Stephanie, that was a wig.
Oh wow.
Because it was like he was going through,
because he was already doing chemo and
treatment and everything. I was like, it didn't even dawn on me. I'm like, oh, that's right.
Did he not get really? He never got really thin.
I don't think he didn't look that much different to me, but it's kind of like maybe it's because I just conditioned my brain to he's going through cancer treatment, so he's going to look different. So I was like, I'm not even going to worry about how he looked. Right. But the fact that she said a wig, I'm like, oh boy. So apparently he has taped up. They've been batch shooting episodes. So all of his episodes, we're still going to see him on Jeopardy until Christmas. And then they don't know. Of course, they haven't said anything about replacing him. And I'm thankfully that they weren't doing the Chadwick Boseman shit. Because I'm like, what are we going to do about Black Panther? He just fucking died.
I know.
I was like, and also he is Black. He is T'Challa. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm like, it's okay to just let
the legacy, like just leave it where it is.
Just leave it the way it is. It's fine. But
it's gonna be sad to watch the Jeopardy.
Sad. It's like I haven't watched any. I'm like, I feel like I just can't.
Those ratings are gonna do really well for the last few episodes.
Especially it's like if you're saying it's up until Christmas, I was like, I feel like people are like, on Christmas, okay, we're gonna watch Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Like, so I can act really like I don't know shit about this. This was like college and kids Jeopardy. I'm like, yes, please. Those answers probably will know. Like smart ass people. I'm like,
I know.
And I think maybe they were like toying around with Ken Jennings, and I'm like, yeah, you don't have the charisma of an Alex Trebek.
Nope.
Because I could not beat hearing him say rap lyrics. I'm like, I don't know why y'all added these categories for him to say rap lyrics. I'm like, this is hilarious. I'm like, we just need a whole channel of Alex Trebek and rap lyrics. Like, how did we get here? It's like
he's so great.
I love it, but
I know
we are definitely going to miss.
Definitely
Alex.
a loss.
It is definitely a big loss to lose Alex Trebek.
Yeah,
I think a few months ago he had joked. He said maybe y'all should get Betty White because y'all know someone younger and funnier. And I'm like, first of all, Betty White is never going to die. Okay,
she can't die.
I was like,
she can't.
We can't die. Her. No, not gonna happen.
Not
Betty White,
her or Dolly.
She's going to the Whole Foods.
Her and Dolly, both of them.
Absolutely
need
not.
them
I'm like,
forever.
Nope, they can't die. Dolly cannot die because she's sick of y'all white asses too. She like, first of all, Black Lives Matter. But Dolly, what? They do. I will hit you with my left boob if you say anything to me. I was like, see, y'all thought that. Why do you think she was in that movie with Queen Latifah? Just because for the check? Dolly don't need no check.
Thank you.
That's it.
They would have act real surprised when their icons
are
on the right side.
You just
like,
want her
hello,
to be racist because,
right? Because you're racist, right?
Like, I don't know why y'all think country fans are racist. How dare Dolly play Black Lives Matter? Okay, so you don't want us to. Okay, all right, that's fine. So next story: the Fresh Prince reunion trailer has dropped.
Yes.
It will be on HBO Max on November 19th. So I'm very excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited. That's very soon. I can't wait.
Because you saw all the pictures earlier and it was like, oh, okay. Then you see the trailer and you were like, oh, they're going to talk about James Avery, which I'm going to cry about. And then when you saw the Janet Hubert walk on, I was like, big.
Here we go.
Sold. I'm here. We ready. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm like, oh boy, this is gonna be great. And then you saw a
Queen.
picture of both Aunt Vivs with Will, and it's like, this is gonna
Iconic.
be so good. I'm like,
Iconic.
it's gonna be so great. I like this, and not a reboot. I'm like, we don't need no reboots. Y'all hear that? Saved by the Bell. We don't
Well,
need a fucking
they're trying
reboot.
to do, they're trying to do the dramatic version.
Yeah,
of-
and I think aren't they trying to get Will to be Uncle Phil or something like that? I'm like,
something
yeah.
like that, because somebody else is gonna play his character, but it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be interesting for it to be, because it's hard to imagine it not as a comedy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we don't no, we're
like,
not doing this.
I'm kind of good.
I'm good, y'all. We don't need this. But yes, November 19th. I can't wait. It's like,
I'm excited for the reunion.
I can't wait. And it's on HBO Max. HBO
and
Max,
everyone looks the same.
Absolutely. I'm like,
they look like themselves. I'm like, great.
Daphne looks good. Okay, Daphne Maxwell Reid. No, your husband is Ray from Sister Sister. I was like, right, that is him. That is, see,
that's right.
Interconnection. See, and everybody likes him as a dad because fuck Frank Mitchell from Moesha. I'm so glad I'm so glad when Moesha came back out and people were like, oh, I'm glad y'all are here, because Frank Mitchell been shit ever since that. He's a low down raggedy bitch.
Yes.
It's like,
yes.
He's a whole bag. He called his own daughter a slut or a whore, and you had a whole side baby.
Oh my God.
Sir, get out my face. You couldn't even sell no fucking Saturns. Okay, see, we're not here for this.
Not a Saturn.
He had a Saturn dealership. It's like, see, fuck you, Frank Mitchell. Anyway. So, of course, because I have Bravo people here, we got to have some Bravo minutes. Mm-hmm. We're doing, if y'all want a complete breakdown on the Housewives, please hit the Bravo breakdown. She's going to give you a whole breakdown. We are just we're just doing some hit it's and quit it's.
Yeah, so, quickies.
Salt Lake City, finally here. And this is a Jen Shaw Stan account. I just want to let y'all know I'm so here for this.
It is gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I mean, if that was the premiere, the bar is high.
I was like, I have never seen a premiere, and we've been watching Housewives for a while, a premiere this good out the gate.
I know, it was jam-packed.
I was like,
it was so good.
Yeah,
I'm
and
so
it's like
excited.
We all knew about Mary, and Lord have mercy that family, but I was like, so I want to know why y'all buried the lead on Whitney. I was like, wait, she what? Y'all both married, and we've been here for 10 years, and then we were both married. We got excommunicated. Time out. Why we ain't know this?
Right?
Every parishioner out of Mary's church has been spilling tea, but ain't nobody saying about Whitney.
Well, she put out that tweet saying that she didn't get excommunicated, that she left the church on her own.
So why your cousin say excommunicated?
Okay, because that is what your cousin said.
Your cousin said excommunicated.
Check your cousin.
It's like, you better check her, who's like, I'm not a good Mormon girl. I like black people and black music and gay people. And I went, so did anybody else hear what she just said?
Thank you. I was like, am I the only one? Like, that didn't come out right. You might want to rephrase that. That doesn't sound right.
So did you mean this? Did she address this in the Q&A? Because I'm like, excuse me, question down front. What the fuck did you just say?
No, she just was like, I love black men, and Jen's gonna help me find a black man. But I'm like, how do you know you love black men?
No, you love black dick. I know many a person that loves a black dick, because some of us.
Black man is a whole other thing.
Yeah, black dick and black man. It's like,
it's very. Do you want to be with a black man? You want to have a family with a black man? You want to live with what it's like to be with a black man, or do you like getting fucked by black men? Or do black men make you feel sexy because the way that they view you and your feminism, your femininity,
that you're allowed to have? You're allowed to be sassy.
That you are allowed to have.
We can't be. It's like, you better shut the hell up and just back me up when I'm being stupid.
Right.
Why? Because that makes me look stupid. Why would I just back? You know what? No. So
I'm Heather. I'm a little bit like, okay, like
it's like you like.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm keeping an eye on her.
I got one little hairy eyeball, because it's bad enough. It's two white women, and I'm like, okay, which one are you? Because I'm like, seriously, are you Lisa or Meredith?
I know.
was like, I still don't know. I'm like, I gotta go back and look. I'm like, wait a minute, which one is Lisa? Who's Brooke's mom? Who's Brooke's mom?
Right?
I'm like, who's your son? Oh, Brooks. So is that Lisa? See, I can't even keep it straight. I'm like, wait, is that Lisa? Yeah.
I was so glad when they pointed that out in the episode and
everybody's looking like, we don't know why. What the fuck you mean? You ain't got eyes? Like,
I know.
Y'all, I was like, seriously. I'm like, wait, who am I looking at? And then I'm sorry, when she went, was it Lisa or Meredith that went to 4 different drive-thrus?
Lisa.
See, I keep doing. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck Meredith do, except is she the one who doesn't know Heather?
That's Lisa.
Oh my God, I haven't gotten to Meredith yet. God damn. So anyway,
the way that I can remember Meredith is Meredith has a very like darling, like she's very like refined and like, of course this party wasn't for me.
It was her birthday. Oh.
Yeah, she's like, I have a jewelry store, the Charlize Theron visits. So I think of Meredith as sort of like a more.
Is she the one that had said you had to kiss the ring? Is that her?
No, that's Lisa.
Damn, I can't give it so bad. This is so bad. I'm like, when she said, "Oh, people go here," and I'm like, how come I've never? Okay, Meredith is the one with the jewelry. She's not with the tequila.
Right, Lisa has the tequila.
Yeah, it was like she named 5 different tequilas. I'm like, how come I don't know what this is?
I know, and one of them was Ola. I'll make it tequila. I'll call it Ola Tequila. That's original.
What in the Vanderpump Rules hell are you doing?
I know. I was like, really? Ola.
I'm waiting, and Whitney is kind of very like, I don't know what's going on, but she looks cuter with short hair. Please take the long hair out because it's like super cute on her. I'm like,
she needs to wear bob. And it's very rare that somebody actually looks their best with like that bob because it takes a certain type of phase, and she looks adorable with that short bob. She doesn't need to grow because on the promo where she has all those extensions, it's overpowering.
Yeah, because at first I was like, wait a minute, who's that? Because there's all these people with long hair in the promo. Who's she? I'm like, oh, she don't look good with that long. Girl, the role of Gina has been filled. We don't need you to do that.
God, please don't. Don't.
Mind you, I'm not even watching this season. I have a real reason. So when they said the OC ratings went up, it was like because you're leading into Salt Lake City.
Right. Are they going to move that time slot?
They need to because 10 o'clock is like
it's too much. It's too much. And I'm overwhelmed. Like it's late, and then I'm like, okay, like you got to stay up. I'm just like, they need their own night.
That's what you do for Tardy for the Party because nobody don't watch that shit. You put Tardy for the Party at 10 o'clock.
Exactly.
They need an 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock slot, not 10. Why are they going after OC? Anybody watching that shit?
I know they shouldn't do that.
And I really like Bronwyn, and I'm like, I just want nice things for her.
I know,
but girl, we ain't watching that shit.
No.
So we do another day.
Whenever Jen was like, I didn't realize the Mormon church was racist until after being married to a black man for 5 years. I'm just like, really? How do you miss that?
I watched the Sister Wives. I ain't seen
no black
come
people
on.
In that Mormon church. How many? You knew that the Mormons are racist. Come on now.
But it was funny when he said, "Do you know what the Mormons are?" And it was just like, wait, how come you didn't know that? Y'all met in college,
and you didn't know that.
This didn't come up in college.
Not once.
Not once.
It never came up.
Never. Not even at the rehearsal
Not once.
dinner. I mean, now I got questions because one, I don't want to ask too many questions because I want my ticket to the Shaw Chalet because I'm like, when is it going to be an Airbnb? Because I'm going and I want draped from ceiling to floor. Okay, I'm like, cause she like, can I come and live at the chalet? I'm like, you live at a ski lodge. Like, are we serious right now? Why do you live at a ski lodge?
I know.
And like, yeah, we're gonna have the party here. It's like, why would you have it at our house? Oh, that's your house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I can totally see why.
I mean, I didn't know coaches made money like that.
Right? I'm like,
I had no
you're
idea.
Not the head coach, you're an assistant coach. And I know because Urban Meyer, he's good on money because I know they make multi-million-dollar salaries as head coaches, but as assistant coaches, I'm like, how much do y'all make? And I don't know what your wife do except live at the ski lodge that I want to visit.
That was my big question mark. I was just thinking that when she's got her 3 assistants and she's transforming the home, all I kept thinking, who is paying for this furniture to get completely moved out of your home? and put back before Coach Shaw even returns back home.
And she's saying like working. She's not like Sonia with 17 interns and 3 toaster ovens. I'm like, girl, why do you have all these interns and they unpaid? I'm like, who is doing an unpaid internship for you?
Right? Well, college student.
True. It's like, well, because it's like when I was in college, I had to do an internship, but it was built in to my schedule. So it was like a whole semester was an internship, but it was like during the day, like it was regular class. So I don't know. But everybody, you, Bravo with Black, mixing with Monty, oh no, Bravo. I think it's all happening. I think Amanda said it too. Everybody was like, y'all are gonna love this. I'm like, oh
yeah, it's good.
It's so good. I can't wait. But I need y'all to change it to another day. Do I need to call Andrew? Because I have no problem calling Andrew because I'm about sick of his shit. But his new show looks kind of interesting.
I'm into it.
I was like, this okay. He's gonna like this because it's not just because if you bring back those top model clips, I'm like, oh, I'm so ready for this. I can't wait for us to discuss this in 2020 eyes
and talk to them. That's gonna be good.
I'm like, I kind of like. First I was like, what? Now I'm like, intriguing.
I think it's perfect timing too. It's like all the shows have been at least 10 years at this point, most of them. So you have a lot of content. It's good. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, and it's like fresh eyes because some things you look at like from 2011, you're like, ooh, this isn't what I thought it'd be. Looking at it now, like I used to laugh at this. But anyway,
yeah.
So, her breakdown is up on the Patreon, but.
Yes.
Real Potomac thoughts.
You know,
fuck Ashley up. I'm so sorry. I'm like, you.
She's always gotten under my skin, but this episode really did it for me. The whole episode was her being an asshole. Like, from the Candace thing with the mom. Let this girl be happy about wanting to be a mom. Why are you holding on to something? Grudge.
Why did you accept her apology? Say I forgive you because you said that. What was the point? I was like, then you don't forgive her. It's okay if you don't. I'm like, you can accept the apology. It's like, I accept it. Let's work towards it. I'm not there yet. That's fair, which is why I gave Monique. I'm like, I said that's fair when she said 5 days. She didn't feel any remorse 5 days later. I'm like, I think that's fair because you need to like look at your feelings. So I was like, I think that's fair. It's like it's 5 days. I would probably feel a little bit remorseful by hitting my friend, not an enemy, a friend. But you know, I'm like, but still, your feelings are valid because if what you're saying is true, that's going on in your life, I'm like, I'd be really punchy too. I'm like, girl, if you can get the fuck on my face, do you know what the fuck I'm dealing with? I will punch anybody. But if you can not leapfrog over, if what you're saying is true and cannot leapfrog over Candace to get to Giselle, then I don't believe you. Period.
Okay.
I'm like, you sitting down and breaking bread with Giselle. And I'm like, and I'm somebody who likes Giselle. And I'm still like, that's pretty fucking gross. But if you can sit down and be by yourself, I don't care if this is your job. I'd have busted her face if that's what you're saying that she did. I'm like, see, that's why I'm like, this don't make no sense. You're like, oh, it had nothing to do with the rumors. Okay, so what is the issue?
What's the problem?
Robin.
No, it's true.
Like Robin. I'm like,
because if it's not that, there's nothing that I have seen at all.
Like, and then you're mad because now it's like you're coming out to defend yourself because you were like, oh no, I didn't want it on the show. And now it's like it's on the show and people are like, so I hear you, Monique, but
it's not going on. It's not.
And Ashley, like, baby, I know you had a whole baby, but you were a whole asshole before you had that whole. You were 2 assholes before you had that baby. So for you to sit here and sit in judgment of Candace is hilarious. And then when Robin said it to you, she's like, "Well, did she talk about? Did I talk about you on social media? Don't make us look
okay."
It's like, why are you acting like that? Like, I'm sorry, you're lucky. Candace almost beat you. Sorry, Robin almost beat your ass, and she should have. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, you're the one who needs to get beat up. Karen almost beat your ass, and Karen can't fight. So I don't know what was going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen in this fight. But Karen said she can't fight. I'm like, so Karen, I believe you, but then I don't believe you. Because you're like, Karma is a bitch. I'm like, yeah, see, I remember you. So she's saying she can't fight, but maybe she means like this. But I feel like she would like literally smack her in the face.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about Ashley, but I'm like, you are dead ass wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't. She was so in the after show, she was like, I was subjectively objective. I'm like, so that is not how this works.
Exactly.
You're not objective because one, what lawyer is asking you? Like, I need a character statement. So typically they ask you to speak about Monique's character, not bring up what happened last year so you can discredit her. That's not a character statement. It's like, I need you to discredit, like, well, I'm doing it because she could go to jail. No, she can't. This is probably a first offense for Monique. She's not going to jail.
Right.
So even though Giselle, which is hilarious, you brought it up like we don't want her to go to jail, but it's like Monique wasn't going to jail. I'm like, oh, I knew that when she pressed charges. I'm like, she wasn't going to jail.
No,
it's a misdemeanor with, and Maryland is weird because I'm like, second degree assault is a misdemeanor. Why they talk? And it does have this weird amount of jail time. It's mostly probably because it's an assault. So it's probably that's why, but still, Monique, you had the money, the backing, the legal team. You probably would get a fine and maybe community service, if that. But I think the reason why they threw it out is because, well, this one, you're on Bravo. Y'all can't sue each other. So this has to go away. Vicky told us that. It's like, you can't sue each other and y'all on the same they have to make this go away. So you can file anything you want. Going to trial is totally different.
Ashley needs to just like remove herself from the entire equation.
Right. It's like, you don't need to be involved. You weren't there.
You were the last person that should be writing a statement. The last.
About someone's character. Like, no. And so this is why I have a complicated relationship with Giselle, because I'm like, I somewhat like Giselle because I think she's funny. She's good for the show. And I think that's
what I was going to say. She plays the part. She knows her function on the show, but I don't enjoy her at all.
Right. It's like, she's a broken clock for a lot of reasons. That was when she was right that day. Cause it's like, so it's interesting that you are talking about her character as if you didn't act like she did. And she was like, what do you mean? I'm like, Candace, you know what she means.
Right.
You have said some really wild, reckless shit, Ashley. You're just not a darker skinned Black woman and you not using your hands. So you think we don't notice that too. You called Wendy ferocious. I'm like, that is Jeff Bezos levels of wealthy coming from you. And and it's so funny that Karen didn't say that to her. It's like, I know you're not talking about somebody being ferocious. Why is nobody, it's like, do y'all have some sort of pact that we don't know about? Why is nobody saying this to Ashley? Like, you are the last person to talk about it. And I'm glad it was Robin, because she went after her the hardest. And Robin just seems like, I'm just trying to live my life and have sex with my hot dude, and you getting in my face for God. Can you mind your business for your husband who can't keep his hands to himself?
Whenever Ashley was all up in Robin's business like that, I remember watching it and just thinking, like, why do you care? Like, what business of it is yours about her relationship?
I didn't get it. So last season, I was like that with Candace. I was like, why do you care?
Right.
So when people are like, why is that? Why I don't like, she's likable. I'm like, you don't have to like her to look like, okay, this is kind of fucked up. And that's not what happened. I don't like people who lie to me. Because I was sitting here like, so this doesn't make sense, because you watch the season, like every time she had a problem with you, Monique, she walked away from you. She's like, okay, I'm just going to leave. And she just gave you an apology. The only person she really seemed to apologize was you. So it's like, she wasn't ever picking a fight. If she really wanted to get into a fight, the minute you put your hands on her, she'd have walked around that table and got right in your fucking face if she really wanted to fight.
Right.
I was like,
exactly.
So it's like, it can't be she didn't deserve it. And then as soon as you got the backing of a lot of people, it's like, oh no, she deserved it because she provoked people. I'm like, Robin held you. There was a umbrella between you and Robin. And Robin followed you down the street.
Yep.
You didn't even think to put your hands on Robin, because the first thing, you want to try to take my money. Girl, this is not the NFL. We don't give a fuck, because a lot of people don't know who Chris Samuels is.
Right.
But I kind of do, because I live around here.
But that was no, but you're right. That was my question though, was like, where were those hands when it came to Robin?
It's like, why didn't you hit Robin?
You didn't grab Robin's by the hair.
You really did. And you were like, you literally, it was
and she
only
was
an
in
umbrella.
your
She
face.
was in your face. And when people say she was in her face, I'm like, Robin got in her
Robin
face.
was, and Robin stepped up to her. It wasn't like, oh, it was building up. It was like Robin was like,
Seems
I'm
like I would hit you like, do it, hit me. And it's like, so before people like she asked for it, I'm like, Robin asked for it. She never got served.
She never got it.
Excuse me, I asked for soup. Where's my soup? She never got her sandwich soup. No, their fish soup for her.
Yep.
And Ashley, for you to do this, you tried to label her an alcoholic.
Yep.
But sure, let's talk about, y'all know what? You're not saying something. It's just because that film magically didn't show up.
Right, I was gonna say, she deleted the footage, so now you owe her. So now we gotta sit here and watch this bullshit and act like that's not the reason why you're doing this stuff.
Because I'm sitting here like, I don't have a surveillance system in my home, but I feel like it's super weird that in your basement you don't have cameras.
Right.
I'm like, so I can see if it's a bathroom. I'm like, okay, like my personal bedroom, yeah, probably not. But open public areas, that seems super weird to me. It didn't seem, I was like, so why do I feel like I want to ask people? So, hi, you Teddy Mellencamp's husband, you own a company.
Right.
Would you have cameras in your basement if you know public people, especially if they're filming? Right. There was no cameras down there, period. Bravo wasn't filming. Something don't sound right. It don't.
Even when she said it at the reunion, you could see it on everyone's face. They were like
But she was playing like she didn't know that Ashley likes to gobble peaches on
she played
occasion.
that real well.
And
she played
like,
it real
really?
well.
And I'm like, so Ashley, she's covering for you, bitch. Shut up.
That's it. And then you're gonna out it. Oh yeah. She lied for me and she deleted the footage. It's like,
it was just like, girl, we knew. I'm like, okay, well, we know that. Now it's like, we know why she's sticking up for you. Exactly. And you made it a point to tell everybody that Charisse didn't have anything to do with this. But I will give flowers to Karen because the conversation she had with Candace, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
That is the conversation, because that is coming from a friend. She was like, I am glad you said that, because one, if Candace really wanted to, like, if she was as combative and as aggressive as people say, she wouldn't have let Ashley keep saying that shit to her. She was like, no, her feelings are valid. I understand. Okay.
Yep.
She sat there and said nothing. She ain't fold up her tissue like origami and start stabbing her tear ducts. She was just like, okay. Because one, it's like, this is when you know she actually is in therapy. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't her first therapy appointment. As someone in therapy, I can tell.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You've been to therapy.
Oh, yeah.
That's gross.
She wasn't reactive like she usually is. And I love and Karen, and I love how Karen was like, you usually take it over the line, because Candace can straddle that line very well, where she takes it too far and then you can no longer co-sign what she's doing because she takes it too far. Right. And I love that Karen was like, it's okay to have an opinion. It's okay to stand up for yourself, but know where that line is. It seems like that's what she's learning in therapy, just knowing where the line is and just knowing when to just back down and let it go. And I was impressed. I was proud of Candace. That the whole entire episode, I was on Candace's side this past episode. Because
when she says "fuck you, Ashley," I'm like, oh, you're going to deserve.
Fuck
3 of those words.
Because
when she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was like, she's like, do you have any remorse? And she's like, yeah, because my tongue is biting and I went too far and I go too far and sometimes I go too far. Yeah. That's the part she needs to own. And I'm tired of people saying like she needs to own her mouth. But the person who took it physical was Monique. It's like, girl, see, you dealt with the right one. Because if you had did that to Robin would have punched, she'd have dog walked your ass. Did you ever in your life flip my hair?
Ever.
It was like,
oh my God, if she did that to Robin.
Like counting. I was like, 1, 2. God. Why she keep doing this? And why she was nobody going between? It was like, I'm watching this and like, it's not moving as fast as I thought it was, but it still was moving kind of fast. Because I want to know, because one, Ashley lit that match like, oh, y'all not good? Bitch, you just heard her say that. Why would you ask this?
Right.
And nobody there was like, maybe y'all should have a conversation. Y'all, it's like, I feel like Giselle kind of trying, like, y'all had a big friendship. Monique went too far. She's like, oh no, it's a facade. This was never a real friendship. You had this non-friend around your children.
Right?
Your whole children.
I know.
Your whole babies. Girl, I know you. Okay. Nope.
Lies.
Nope. Not going to do it. So
Not
last Bravo minute, Kelly is quote unquote banned from Watch What Happens Live, according to Kelly.
As she should be.
It's like, girl, we don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say.
Nobody
cares, and you're full of shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't know what's going on in the show because we not watching, y'all. We don't give a fuck, and we don't know. Apparently, Bronwyn is living her whole life and not paying y'all attention, and she's traveling with the influencer that I saw her with. She had fun with Monique, which, by the way, Monique seems like a fun person to hang out with. I will say that. It seems like a lot of the Potomac women really just seem like fun people to hang out with. It's super weird that you're like, I don't necessarily like you on the show, but you seem like really fun to hang out with. All of them do. Mm-hmm. Karen included, especially Karen. I feel like Karen.
I love Karen.
I like drunk Karen, but Karen gonna tell her business. Like, why y'all telling my business? Because your drunk ass told us. Like, what you?
Well, she learned her lesson quick. She's like, I'm not drinking on this trip.
I'm gonna drink water and milk. I'm like,
and hot tea.
And hot tea. You know, hot toddy. You don't want hot. You want a hot toddy? But according to Kelly, she is banned because she has a quote unquote opinion. And Rick Leventhal works for Fox News. It's like, girl, we don't give a shit. We don't want you there. Nobody is going to watch if you're there. Well, no. I mean, I'm sorry. Probably some white people are like, no, she just has opinions and she's not a sheep. She is a cum dumpster.
Wow.
That's not even an animal. I got to think of an animal.
Cum dumpster.
I can't think of an animal. She's a piece of shit. Kelly
she
Dodd,
is
Yelly Dodd, and the thing about that you know what the bad part about that is, she came in being a piece of shit, and because she was being a piece of shit to somebody that I didn't like, Tamra and Vicky, I was like, oh, this is fine, but it's like, okay, so now it's not so fine because you're just saying, oh, I'm sorry, it's just I'm not racist, I am Mexican. Hi, you're still white. You're a white Hispanic woman. Shut up. Like, because I swear, and that was the other thing, you traipse into the white Bravo world. People are like, she can't be racist, she's Mexican. Hi, Mexican is a ethnicity, it's not a race. You know, somebody went back and forth with me. They're like, no,
they didn't.
Yes, they did. Like, being Mexican, you could be black or white. Ethnicity. It is a ethnicity. You ass. You can still be white. You ass. Which is why Carrie Brittenham is an asshole. Leanne, you need more black friends because I'm like, you can just call her an asshole because she is. You don't have to talk about her ethnicity.
Just leave that out. That's what she should have said. Then she'd still be on the show.
She would be. I'm like, I'm sorry. I hate to break it to y'all. Everybody likes Carrie. I'm like, she's an asshole. I'm Leanne. I had a terrible childhood. I did too, but I have children. I wanted to have children. I don't give a shit what you wanted to do. See, this is why Leanne is... Leanne, you should have just said, I don't care.
Right.
I know y'all kept saying she's Debbie Downer. I'm like, just stop asking her questions. I was like, y'all keep like,
simple
what
as
do
that.
you think, Leanne? I think that elephant is just depressed. I was like, what the hell? What's going on here?
Oh my God.
I was like, why? And I'm like, why are you fun around everybody? Are you just like this about people you don't like? Is that what this is? Because when you're around all the gay people and your friends, you don't bring this shit up. But around these people, you're like, let me bring you white chicks back down to reality. How about we not? How about we? How about you just have fun? Like,
leave it.
You're at an element. You're not at a. This is not a zoo. This is not a animal prison. This is a sanctuary. They're fine. I don't know. Girl, I don't know, but bravo, fucking bravo.
I know. Kelly Dodd needs to disappear already.
She needs to go to hell. She needs to go back to hell.
Like,
and did you see the thing about the girlfriend and her ex-husband?
No, that from Kelly Dodd? I saw the thing that she was saying that Michael Dodd won't sign the divorce papers. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So apparently she put up this text, the screenshot of the text she sent to Michael saying, "Can you pick up Jolie? I have something to do, but can you do something?" And he was like, "No, I have something to do." And she's like, "He doesn't want to be a fucking father." And then it was like, it's the same day, Kelly. Did you know you had plans 2 days before? So apparently Michael has a girlfriend. She's like, "Take this down and makes you look bad." It's like, no, it doesn't, because I'm like, girl, yes, it does make you look bad. This is the same day.
Right. Like he's supposed to just drop everything.
Because she was like, "We have something to do with my family." Oh, so Jolie's not part of your family? If he's not going to be available to come and get her. No. Right. What?
She's like a child, Kelly Dodd.
She's so annoying. And I'm like, girl, you're not writing this. And don't say, "I'm going to apologize because they're making me." I'm like, see, this is why we don't fuck with you. Because you don't mean anything you say. Yeah, fuck you forever. So fuck you, Yelly Dodd. And no, we won't be watching.
No.
It really should be the last season of OC.
It should be the last. It should be the last. I mean, it definitely the last season. Just be the last, especially for her.
Yeah.
For sure. Which I think it will be. I think they're going to probably let it play out and then let her go.
It's kind of crazy that OC has been on so long that none of the original housewives are on there.
Yeah.
Like not even somebody who has been on more than, I think Shannon came in season 5, season 7. It was like so weird. It's like,
is it the only one though? Because Atlanta, aren't they all gone? The originals?
Yeah, because Nene's gone.
Now that Nene's gone,
gone. Yeah, it's like, wow. And most it's like, and I'm trying to think of that, because it's like her and Candy balance out, because Nene took off a season and came back. And Candy started in season 2. So it's like her and Candy, it's like, it's weird that they balance out, but Candy's still not an OG. She's
not, right. I am a Nene fan.
I am too. I'm like, I feel like we're in the minority on that. I was like, I've always liked Nene.
I've always liked her. I get where people, I get the problem that people have with her, but old school Nene, I mean, her reads, her confessionals, hilarious. She paved the way. She started it. She laid the foundation. Like, this is how you read. This is how you do a confessional. This is how you bring it on camera. And all of them are trying to be like Nene, in my opinion.
It's like Atlanta is the reason why they get paid for reunions, because they fought for that. They're like, "Excuse me, how long we gonna be filming? Are you paying us for this?" No. What the fuck you mean? No.
Okay, 11 hours. 11 hours of work.
12 hours. Girl, I'm like, to argue? I'm like, I need therapy after this? No.
I can never.
Pay us for this. So I went back and watched the first season of Atlanta. I'm like, God, this is so good. But it's still, I think Potomac is kind of like, it's weird to say, a step above it, because Potomac is an all black cast. Atlanta was not.
Right.
It is now, but it's like, and believe me, I'm like, I don't know why y'all like Kim Zolciak Bierman.
I don't know.
I like her husband's fat ass. That's what I like. Like the
blow up booty. What did Nene say?
I mean, homie, he got a little fatty, don't he?
He does.
Okay, double cheeked up on a Monday. I'm like, well, shit. I'm like, I'm sorry. What do you do, Croy?
I know, right?
I'm like, I want to know, like, ex-football players or like coaches, real estate analysts. You are holding the camera, so.
He's Kim's chauffeur. It's
like, it's so weird. I'm like, baby, I don't see you nowhere. I'm like, I'm not Googling you because I don't give a shit. I just like looking at your butt. It seems like if you're a lineman in the NFL, you got a butt because you always bending over.
Ass.
I'm like, I'm just saying, linemen got fat booties.
He does.
So yeah, so let's slide into mid key. We're getting out of Bravo because Bravo, ducking Bravo.
Yes,
that is the name of the show. Show title.
And honestly, we covered all the main points. You know, it's stuff with Bravo. It's like every week it's something. So it's like
everything is like,
you keep it moving. You hit it and you keep it moving, because next week is going to be something else.
It is. It's going to be Kelly saying some fuck shit. So mid key, UPS is now lifting the ban on facial hair and natural black hairstyles in 2020. You can now wear your locks and your twists and your crochet braids like I have, or you can have your hair natural like Sasha has at the UPS.
Of all places, they had the nerve to tell somebody how to wear their hair.
I can't. Do you know how antiquated these laws are at jobs? I'm like, I'm in HR and I'm like, I hate to, I will give y'all a little tip. When it comes to policies, they are so broad, but it's broad enough for someone to work around it and also discriminate against you because they're like, it's like, that's why they're broad. That's why they're not as finite and narrow as they can be, because just how you can work around them. Like, well, it's not in the policy. I'm like, you're right. But it also isn't a policy that I can say this. So,
right.
But yeah, UPS has said, no, we're no longer going to do this because that's the right thing to do in 2020. Like, thank you for UPS. Let's see if FedEx follows you.
Oh my gosh.
Or if they're going to be like, nope, better not come in here with that. But
it's just so funny how like there's like all of these things that are, like you said, like in these clauses and policies where it's like baffling to me that they wrote it at the time and they thought it made sense to tell a Black woman how they can wear their hair in its natural state.
Right.
Like, it's one thing to say, okay, don't dye your hair any unnatural colors. Like,
don't come in no like green hair. It's like, oh, okay, well.
But you want to tell me I can't wear my hair how it grows out of my head? It's insane to me.
It's like, yeah, I don't feel like wearing a wig or a weave or straightening my hair to make you feel more comfortable.
Thank you.
It's like, you shouldn't be trying to get in my hair anyway. And also, what does my hair have to do with me doing my job?
And it's honestly, it's in every industry. Like, it's in the acting, everything. Like, it's like the hair, people feel a certain type of way when it comes to Black hair. They are threatened by how powerful.
How dare you be so versatile? I'm like,
yes. How dare your hair stand straight up to the sky? How dare?
You don't need to do this. I'm like, yeah. And then you're like, oh my God, I want to wear locks. So your hair is not built for this.
Thank you.
It actually looks gross and your actual hair will actually fall out.
Disgusting.
And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And look, my hair came out because this hairstyle is not for you.
It's not for you.
You did not see us doing beaded weaves.
Thank you.
Like, because it's not going to work. That's why we sew it in, which is why you won't see white women sewing it in, because your hair is not made for that. So
it's not.
Just clip it in and beat it in and see. This is what happens when you watch The Hills. You're like, what the hell are they doing to their hair? That's your weave. Got it. Okay. So,
but their hair modifications are okay, but ours aren't.
Not. I'm like, why are like
come on,
Black women the only people who wear weaves? It's different.
Right. Right.
Y'all clip it in, which I like clip-ins.
I wish I could clip a weave in. It seems like it'd be a lot easier on my scalp.
Right. Instead of sewing
and be able to sewing it in, and you can't take a shower. You can't wash your hair with a clip in. You just take it out, go on your merry business, and put it back in.
That's why I love crochet. I don't know who came up with crochet braids. That's why I love them so much, because one, you don't have to sit for hours and hours and do braids, and it's something that I can do. So it's like,
do them yourself. And so you just have to cornrow it, right, and then sew it onto it.
Yeah, it's like, once I get better at cornrowing, don't take my black card, y'all. I know how to cornrow. It's not.
It doesn't look pretty, right?
Yeah.
You can do it. I can
do it. It's not like
I can do it, but it's not gonna look good,
right? And I'm like, so it's like all you do, and you just crochet it in. But it's like if you do a different like cornrow pattern, like you do circle, you can do different styles to it. It's like.
So what is the only like downside to having crochets as opposed to individuals?
Probably. I think for me, probably not as versatile. Like in the back, like you know how some people put up braids and they put it up like all the way up.
You'll see,
like in the back, like it's not like I couldn't just put all this up. I mean, I could if I said, "Oh fuck y'all," I don't care what the fuck y'all say, but I don't feel comfortable pulling it all the way up because then you'll be like, it looks weird from the back,
right?
So, but especially if you use
is it like that on the side too? Like if you lift it up on the side?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you pull it up on the side, like it won't look that bad from the side.
Right, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's like it doesn't look like it looks weird.
No, I see.
I mean, these are somewhat long, but they have crochet braids which are short too. So it's kind of like if you use a short one, you definitely are not pulling them up. But I can also pull them back. So it's like it's versatile, but it's not as versatile as like individuals.
Yeah. No, totally. No, I've always been like, oh, should I do crochets? But I can't do crochets or braids, so then I just go get braids because I can't even do crochets. I can do. Maybe I don't think I've ever actually tried with the stick and I've never actually tried it.
It's so funny because the first time I got them, my mother actually did it because I was like, "How do you do it?" She's like, and mind you, my mother is somebody. She's an older black woman, of course, because she's my mother. But it's like women her age, they didn't have YouTube, like literally, and they had to do trial and error. So she's been doing her hair since she was a kid, and now she's like almost 60 years old. Just like she got on YouTube and learned how to crochet braid. Because she's like, I already know how to cornrow. She already like, she knows how to braid. So she's like, I think I could do this. And he looked at me like, oh, it's just easy. Because it literally is just like, I'm like, I don't think real crochet needles look like this. I'm like, I don't crochet. I should ask. There's a Black woman who has a stitching podcast. And I met her this week and I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, because Black women sew. And I'm like, oh my God, this is genius. Because it's true. It's like, this is so good. I'm like, that is just like so niche, but I think it's great.
Yeah.
So it's like you just literally, you put the needle through, you open a loop, and most crochet braids have like a little loop on the end. You put that loop in, you close it, you pull it through, and you just tighten it. It's just like, it's so easy.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I was like, oh my God. Because my mother said, it's so easy, Stephanie, you could do it. I was like, okay,
I need to look into it.
It was like,
it's always been something that I felt like it seems like I could do it because I know how to sew and I know how to cornrow.
Yeah.
So,
because it was like, I was like, I don't know. Because when I told her, I'm like, I'm not really good at cornrow. She's like, Stephanie, it don't have to be cute. It just has to be tight. That's it.
You're not gonna see it. Yeah.
I was like, because that's exactly what she said. And I was like, oh, so it's like I've been having my hair in cornrows for like a year or so, maybe almost 2 years. And it's like, even before this, I wasn't really, because I'm not off the creamy crap. I'm like not completely natural, but I think at the most part, maybe getting my hair perm like maybe 3 times out of a year. And that's it. Which seems like, everybody's like, what? I'm like, yeah, not that long. Like not that many times. So it's like, I wasn't getting really, like at the most I was
every
like
6 weeks or something like that. Yeah.
Remember like when you were younger, there's like, you got to go like every 2 or 4 weeks. It was
like, as those edges start coming in, you got to get them done.
You're like, oh no, you got to go get your touch up. And it was like, sometimes I feel like that's weird, but
yeah, it's like you don't need your hair to be bone straight. You just want it to be manageable.
Especially if you wash it and blow dry it and then just like fat iron it. It's like, I used to be like that. And I used to use Palmer's Hair Success. Everybody's like, what the fuck? Because everybody's like, how's your hair so long? I'm like, oh, I wash it and I flat iron it. I put in Palmer's Hair Success. They're like, that's what you put in your hair? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh,
interesting.
Like, yeah, that's it. The stuff that works on your hair, it works. Because I'm somebody who loves the Pantene natural, because I love Pantene shampoo. That was a shampoo that always worked. Like, I can't use Suave because that dries the fuck up out of my hair. And I haven't used like the Carol's Daughter, and also I like Mane and Tail to a certain extent, but it's like I need stuff that I know works in my hair, and Pantene natural, and they've changed it up dramatically at this point, but they're adding more stuff that has moisture in it because of course we're black hair, so it's like, yeah, we don't need moisture stripped, we need moisture put in. So right yeah, that's just been your hair care minutes, because everybody has their own. It's so funny, everybody has stuff that they use, and I can't think, I'm blanking on the brand that like went, people were like, they changed the formula, and then like we're trying to bring in more white people, and people are like, how dare you like turn your back on us? Like, and I can't think of what it's called. And it's watch at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll be like, that's what it is. I'm like, so what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, look, I think of stuff at weird times. So
I love it.
Eva Longoria, Miss Gabrielle, she decided, it's post-election, everybody's talking about demographics, and it didn't used to be like this back when Obama did it. Because even if you go back, like if you dig into Pew Research, you could probably do 2008, 2012, but it wasn't an emphasis on each racial demographic and then each gender demographic. Right. So it's like it was just like black and white, and that's it. 91% of black people voted for Barack Obama. They didn't break it down. Right. Y'all probably wouldn't like it if we broke it down to how many black men actually voted for Barack Obama. Y'all be like, what you do that for? I'm like, yep. So this was the first year that I noticed, because I think when we were leading up to the election, a lot of people were saying, why do y'all focus on black men? Why y'all not talking about Latino men and women? It was like, so we could talk about that. Y'all didn't care about that until we said black men not doing enough. Right. Y'all seem to not care, but we could have told you this because Latino is not an ethnicity, is a race. It's not a race. It's an ethnicity.
Right.
And they could still be considered white because of white supremacy, they're not going to allow you to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
that's the fact. That's the fact.
So it's like, they're still white people. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I don't know what to tell you, guy. I don't know what to tell you. But so Eva Longoria was talking on a on a television show, and they were just talking about race demographics, and they bring up Black women, and they were talking about the Latino vote in Florida because y'all are really, I implore you guys to go back and watch Clueless there, especially for a scene between Cher and her maid. Her maid is from El Salvador. You found this out after, because apparently Cher was having problem with the gardener, and she asked the maid to talk to her. She's like, talk to him. She said, he your gardener, why you don't call him? And she's like, you know, I don't speak Mexican. I am not a Mexican. And she's like, what's that? Josh is like, she's from El Salvador. Okay. That's a whole different culture.
Oh my God.
It also highlights the fact that El Salvadorians are Latinos and Latinas, and they're not Hispanics, which are Mexicans. Yeah, Mexicans and Cubans don't like each other. I really wish it's like, see, y'all think we have diaspora rewards? Y'all ain't seen it. So when Joe Biden said it, I was like, so he's right, because we put Latinos and Hispanics in the same category, and they are not.
Mm-hmm.
And they will tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
It's like, so they'll tell you that. If you were in a rich Latinx Hispanic city, like, you know, like a Texas or a Florida, even a California, you would know that. It's like,
absolutely. I mean, in LA, like, I only use the word Latinx because it's so nuanced here because of, you know, where we're located. It's like, especially now, it's like people, the younger generation, don't throw them all in one box.
Nope. They're like, I'm Mexican. They're like, okay, I'm not Latinx. But you're brown, bitch. Fuck you. Gonna go. So Eva Longoria put her whole foot in her mouth and was like, Latinas were really the heroes of this. So
they were what? They were what?
They were the real heroes of the election. Girl.
I couldn't believe when she said that. I was like, oh wow, okay. Okay. Like, oh yeah, Stacey Abrams, she's fine, but really.
And you relegated to just Georgia. I'm like, there was a Stacey Abrams in almost every state. Stacey only was fighting for Georgia.
Right, exactly.
She did this nationwide, and she would have the backing.
Why did she feel, even Longoria, the need to do that? Like,
so her reasoning was, and this is after she was talking to Joy-Ann Reid. I'm like, you would talk to a Black woman.
Yeah.
You're not coming to
like,
Tamron.
Yeah,
Tamron would have read your ass. First, let me tell you why you're wrong. But Joy-Ann is a little bit more diplomatic. Let's use that word. So Eva was trying to talk about the difference between Latino men and Latina women, or the Latino vote, but also we don't have a Latino and Hispanic vote because we put them all together. So I don't know, girl, what you thought, but sure. It's like, sure, whatever you want to say. So the first time she did her little notes app apology, we're like, I'm sorry that my words got misconstrued. See, that's not accepting fault, ma'am. That is not owning your shit. And I'm like, girl. So then she went on to Joy-Ann Reid, because I feel like if she did this in the first place, Joy-Ann would have been like, so are you sure that's what you want to say? So when she went on to Joy-Ann Reid's show, she gave a real apology. She's like, my words were totally wrong. I was wrong for what I said.
Yes.
I had no right to downplay Black women and their role in this election because Black women are the cornerstone of the Democratic Party. I'm like, so when Kerry Washington, like, you know, stepped on the, you know, grenade a little bit for her, I was like, oh, Kerry, don't do this.
I know she did, didn't she?
I promise you, if your friend gets dragged,
let her.
You don't have to do.
You don't have to,
especially when they wrong.
She didn't need to do that.
I was like, girl, and then it's like her apology she gave. I'm like, so did Kerry? She they can't stand up for you and then call you and say, let me tell you what you need to say. And let me tell you why you're wrong. And this is what you need to do. You need to get in front of Joyanne and you need to say that. So Joyanne was like, I'm like, yeah, because that's an apology. And notice, no one else is saying anything else about this because she handled it. Because that's what you're supposed to say.
Yes. And the thing is, like, that's okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with making a mistake. She made a mistake.
Apologize and own it.
And you should go talk to a Black woman. Call up your Black friend and find out what the hell did I do and how can I fix it. You don't need to call up your white friends or your Latino
because they're not going to
call up a Black woman. So that's I felt that after I watched that video, I was like, all right, I'm fine with that.
That's it. I was like, thank you, a real apology.
Yeah,
it's like, that's it. And it's like, I feel like Olivia Pope was like on the phone. It's handled.
Yep. I
was like, it surely is, because they was about to get Gabrielle's ass. I'm calling her Gabrielle. Like, I watched Desperate Housewives. I didn't. Everybody kept calling her Gabrielle. I was like, is that her character's name? Because I don't know, because I didn't watch the show. I didn't. I that was one show I could never get into. But
we do watch the Housewives, though. We did watch the Real
Housewives. Not the desperate ones. Some of them are desperate, but they don't call themselves desperate. Yeah. But yeah, because they were going to march her ass right on out, and now it's like, oh yeah, you can stay. You fucked up. It's like when people talk about cancel culture, it's always weird to me because they're like, oh my God, you just want to cancel people. We say fuck to people who don't own their shit and just go, I made a mistake. I am human. Throw me on the cross. You could just fucking apologize and do it correctly.
Exactly.
You could just apologize and
because once you actually apologize, there's nothing really left to say.
Right. And especially if it's done correctly.
That's the quickest way to move on from something.
Why do you think they're not hanging up Lupita after that whole Us thing? And she went on The View and apologized. You notice none of them came after her after that. They were just like, after they saw the apology, well, I mean, we weren't really saying that. We were just, oh my God, no, we weren't attacking her. It's like, she didn't say you attacked her. She said, I fucked up. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, that's all you do. It's like, of course, humans fuck up every single day. But if you apologize and atone, then it's like, nobody can hold it back to you.
Because they can't nobody's going to say that they don't make mistakes.
Correct. So, it's like, stick your foot in your mouth.
I think that she needs to be that apology that she did is that needs to be the staple interview. We need to send that to all the Bravo celebrities that fucked up all the shit they do and just watch that clip. Like, this is how you own your shit.
This is how you fix things. Not whatever the fuck you doing, Kelly Dodd. But you should just stop talking. Someone take your Twitter. Get someone to run.
I know.
Find one of Sonia's unpaid interns and get her to run your social media.
Please. Please.
So let's head into high key and let's talk about the election, because we now have a reason to celebrate in January because we have a new president. Is it president-elect?
President-elect.
70, I think we're up to 78 minutes. They're still fucking counting. Can I just tell you, I selected my ballot, dropped it off at the drop box. My ballot has still not been counted. There's still parts of Baltimore County and Baltimore City that has not been counted for the election. They already called the election, but I was like, yeah, I should feel a way about not getting my email, because I think that was the one thing I told my father's he's just a sweet guy. He really is, especially with me. And it's like, I appreciate a Black man being tender with me. So it's just like, I always appreciate it. And it's like, he's your dad. I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of Black women whose dads are not tender with them. So it's not just because he's my dad. He's just somebody who's like, I should just do better. Yeah. So when I had said this to my mother, I was like, this only thing about doing a drop box, I don't get my voting sticker. And I was feeling like FOMO because people were going in person to go get it and they had her sticker. I'm like, this sucks. I don't get my sticker. This sucks. He called me up in the middle of the day and said, hey, so I hear you really wanted a sticker. So this is what happens. When they count your ballot, you can go to the site and print out your sticker. I was like, oh, you called me for that?
That's so sweet.
So sweet. Like, thank you. I'm like, he's like, well, you really wanted your sticker, and I just wanted to let you know, this is what you need to do. And I'm like, wow.
That's so sweet. That's so sweet.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. So now I'm waiting for my email so I can print out my sticker.
I love it.
I'm like, I love that. He's such a sweetie. I love him. My dad's the best. So
I mean, it really is like, if you don't have the sticker, did you really vote?
Right. It feels I feel like I didn't really vote. I mean, I have a boomerang that I put my ballot in the box, but still, I'm like, I'm a sticker.
You gotta get the sticker
because they all now big and sweet and not the little, little I voted things. It's like it's
right.
our state flag. I'm like, y'all got up the sticker budget, and now I got the sticker. Okay, so
one of my followers, they sent me this Black Lives Matter one.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't it cute?
That's
I can't
so
let it go.
cute.
I know, I've kept it on my phone so I can look at it. I'm so
that
proud of what we did.
I actually kind of, child, let's talk about it. So,
right,
new president, 78 million people voted for Joe Biden, but I think we're up to 74 million voted for Donald Trump. So for everybody, we've been talking about like getting out the vote. People are like, what about voter suppression? I'm like, so two things are happening at the same time. Voter apathy and voter suppression are not the same thing. However, voter apathy can come from systemic and consistent voter suppression.
Yes.
Both are happening. This is why Stacey got 400,000 people registered to vote. Yeah. I'm like, how many people are in Georgia that can't vote?
I know.
It's like her losing is not because people didn't vote. It's because of voter suppression. They threw out votes. They tried to get it. So she literally got her vote. The election stole from her. So it's like, you really should have, if y'all were smart, y'all wouldn't have been trying to stop them from voting, because she wouldn't be doing this right now. She'd be governor. But I kind of figured, I don't know if she would not be. So
she would be doing it still, but even so, it's even more reason. It's even more reason for her,
right? To make She's like, I don't want this to happen to anybody else. So so because of, and this is probably the only silver lining about the pandemic, is that it made it easier for people to vote.
Yes.
Because I mean, there are states that only do mail-in. Washington State is that state that they don't have in-person election days. They only do voting by mail. So they are different. But a lot of places, and also a lot of places don't have early voting. Like I'm in Maryland, it has early voting, but every state doesn't have early voting. So it's like, that's not that. So because people could request their ballot and you could just drop it in a drop box, you could mail it. He even tried to fuck up the USPS, which,
oh my God,
people get medication from the mail.
Right?
It's not just bills. People get their money, like Social Security checks from the mail. They get medicine from the mail. And it's like, also, he was like talking about, we should just use UPS and FedEx. Hi, in rural areas where a lot of your supporters are, UPS, FedEx, and DHL, may it rest in peace, because I have not heard people talk about DHL anymore. There are places it doesn't go. They have to use the USPS. But you're a dumbass, but you run our country and you don't know that. I don't run our country and I knew that. It's like, rural areas, UPS don't go there. Because some of them don't have street signs. So they don't know what they're going. It's like, what? Why don't you have resources at your fingertips to learn this shit and you didn't want to. So I guess the only silver lining about the pandemic is that it made it easier for people to vote. And Democrats, and to a certain extent probably third party, insisted on y'all voting. Like, don't let this pandemic stop you from voting. We got drop boxes. You can mail your stuff. You even if you want to do in-person early voting, we got early voting. Yeah,
it's so shocking to me.
It was like 78. I'm like, wow.
I know. It's still crazy that, like, even though we have record-breaking numbers of voters that turned out this year, that's still only like 65% of the people that exist in this country that voted. Yeah,
that are eligible to vote.
That are still sitting at home and not voting. That's the part that's crazy to me.
Isn't it crazy? It's like it's actually easy. You just could request it, bubble it in, and send it out. And you could still vote. So it always makes me think of Snoop Dogg. So everybody's like, Snoop Dogg is 50-something years old. Why has he never voted? Because he's a felon. He's an ex-felon. And the typical rule is, if you're an ex-felon, you lose your voting rights. Yeah. But that's not true in California. And that is where he is. But nobody told him that. They don't tell, because that's not true in all states. But you also can get your rights reinstated. You just gotta jump through you gotta jump through hoops to do it. Yeah. That's why a few states they rescinded that and said, oh no, we're not gonna let ex-felons lose their lose their voting rights. Because I think in California, it's like, as long as you like finish your parole, you can get it back. But I'm pretty sure nobody told Snoop Dogg that. Because it's like, it's the general rules. Like if you're ex-felon, it's like you use your voting rights. You go to jail, you're not going to be able to vote. But that's not true for everybody. But that's, again, a form of voter suppression. Black men, since y'all like most black men go to jail, why do you think they don't tell you that you can actually get your rights reinstated if you really wanted them to? They don't want your black ass to vote.
Oh, they don't. They don't.
That's why they didn't tell you. Like, I'll tell you. It was like, but yeah. Wow. I was like, it made it so much easier. And it's still people like, no, I don't want to vote. I'm like, that's your choice. But still 78 million people. It was still 74 million people who were like, I'm sitting at home. I can't travel. I can't go and get my chicken tenders from Applebee's. Love yourself more and get fucking chicken tenders from somebody else. Why are y'all raging for chicken tenders? What is at the Applebee's? What is there?
Nothing at all. Nothing
I want to eat. And it's like, but still, it's like, it's 78 million people said yes to Joe Biden. 4 or 5 states got flipped. One of them being Wisconsin. I was like, y'all, I had to break it to y'all. Wisconsin used to be a blue state before Trump. They flipped red. It was like, ooh, he flipped Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona. John McCain was going to haunt those people if they got Trump in there. He's like, I will haunt all of you. The fuck? There was like, I wasn't surprised that Arizona went blue. I'm like, that's John McCain's state.
Yep.
It's like,
yep.
I'm sorry. Flipped Georgia, and it was like, ooh,
that's a big one.
That's a big. It was like, and that is from the work of women of Stacey Abrams and women like her. Because she didn't do that by herself, but she definitely took all the bullets.
It made it happen.
Because she was the face of it. She was everywhere. She was on Day Suits and Meryl, and I was like, why is she here? And I'm like, that's right, talk about voter suppression. Please educate people on voting. Please do it. And she went everywhere. And she was only doing this for Georgia. It was like she wasn't doing this nationwide.
It's amazing.
It was just for Georgia.
When I saw her on Selena Gomez's live, I was like, oh, that's major. Because that's like, she's got one of the top Instagram followers.
Doesn't she have like 100 million followers?
Yes, she's got a lot of followers. So. And you know, I lived in Atlanta for 4 years, and it's about time. Because Atlanta is a really big artist community. They call it the Hollywood of the East Coast. Like it's huge.
It's Black Hollywood.
Black Hollywood. So I'm like, it's about time that we get out there and get our voices heard. There's no reason why we're bringing all this money to this state. Black people, Tyler Perry, bringing this state all this money. It needs to be blue.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's about
and he
time.
flipped Pennsylvania too. And they said it was because of the inner city in Philadelphia. You mean the black vote? Yeah.
Yep.
See, you want to play fair. So now we have Trump pouting.
Yep.
He is not conceding. He's not done a concession speech. So I will tell y'all, we don't fucking need you to do one.
We don't need you. Just pack your shit and leave.
You can go on vacation until January 19th, 2021 if you really want to.
Yes.
He's like, he hasn't called Joe Biden. I'm like, girl, he got Barack Obama on speed dial. He don't need shit from Trump.
You. He don't need it.
Jimmy Carter is still very much alive. He can call George if he want to. I don't know what he's gonna get, but he can still call George. There are so many, and he was vice president for 8 years.
Wow.
Please miss us. Like,
thank
girl, you. And now we had a quote unquote million MAGA march.
So stupid.
The hashtag was trending. Also, another trending hashtag was million moron march because you're a moron. It wasn't millions of people.
Like what, a couple 5,000 people?
Right. It's
the
like
extreme Trumpies.
Right. It was
that just couldn't let it go.
Y'all are literally mad. They're like, y'all didn't. We have to march because this is unfair because he lost.
Right.
You mean because he lost?
It's unfair because he lost. That's
the only reason. Like, it's not y'all votes wasn't suppressed.
Okay.
Was your vote suppressed? Did I miss it? Were you voter suppression? No.
Right.
No, because all y'all asses showed up on election day. Most people are like, no, I'm going to drop off my ballot. Done. I got the email that says y'all got it. Done. I've done my part. And the fact that it took 78 million people. And there were still 74 million people who said, yeah, I see that we're all suffering, but
don't give a damn.
Don't give a damn. It's like, ooh, it was so, girl. And to see so many famous black men to say something, and I've been telling y'all this. You want to know why they're going after black men and not black women? Because to a lot of white people, the face of blackness is a black man.
Okay.
They are the face. And it's like, so y'all not, but sure.
Yes.
Why do you think they had no problem listening to your ass Ice Cube? They're like, they didn't come and meet with me because they told me after the election. They're not in power. Mm-hmm. That's a waste of your time. And then you actually did have an opportunity to sit with Kamala Harris, who we will get to because can't wait. Yes. You didn't want to be on the call with entertainers. She had entertainers on there. Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me again, O'Shea. What do you didn't want to be in the room with Diddy, the other rapper?
Right.
I was like, wait a minute.
I'm confused. I'm so confused. Wait, are you a serious actor now? Like, I don't get it.
You're an entertainer. You were on the entertainer call. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I object.
I don't get it.
What is going on? So
very confusing.
And she's the senator from your state. You are from California. Kamala is from your state.
Yep.
What are you doing? It's like, sir, and Lil Wayne, who he is younger than me. I was on the phone with my mama and I was like, he started so young. It's like I was like, he's probably like 41 because I know we're around the same age. I was like, he's 38. What? Wow. It's like, and that's like, I keep forgetting how young Lil Wayne really is when he started.
He's a teenager.
He was a kid. And I'm like, I forget how old. And I'm sitting here like, 78 million people, 5 states flipped blue, none flipped red. Because why the fuck?
Why would they? Why would they?
For what? It was like, I was like, it was like, this race was not called until Saturday after the election, which I think that might be the new normal. It's like, yeah, we're going to have election day and that's going to be fine. But for the most part, I don't mind if it means a few more days of not having somebody in that doesn't need to be there.
I'd rather that.
I'm fine with that. Like, I'm totally fine with this.
Yes.
And so because of Biden's historic win, he rebuilt the blue wall, which is Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. He won all 3 of those states. All 3 of those states went to Donald Trump in 2016. And he won Georgia and Arizona. Those states have been red for a very long time because Mitt Romney won both of those states in 2012 and then Trump won them in 2016. So it's been a very long time.
Way overdue.
Way overdue. We earned 2 Senate seats. The Republicans won 1 Senate seat. So they still maintain a majority in the Senate. They have 50 Republicans and then 48 Democrats, but they're having a runoff in Georgia. So this is important because the majority is 51.
Okay.
The majority in the House.
Yeah.
So I don't know what other states. I know it's the runoff in January for Georgia, which I didn't pay attention to why there was a runoff. There's a reason, and I didn't pay attention to it. I should ask my buddy Brandon because he's a poli-sci nerd and he would know this shit. So yeah, it's not over in Georgia. So Stacey is like, my work ain't done. We're making sure
ain't done yet.
We're going to get these seats.
She's gonna get it.
Yeah, because right now we have the Democrats have the majority in the House, so they're trying to get it back in the Senate.
Okay.
So that's what we need because we need.
Keep pushing.
After a certain amount, it's like I like that people are seeing now that there's a lot of shit you can't do without Congress because the Senate controls the Supreme Court. They were able to put in these extremely terrible people into the Supreme Court. Ruth Bader Ginsburg wasn't even roaming the ground and they were already going for her replacement.
I know.
Anthony Scalia died and they were like, oh no, we're not doing it until after the election because this was months. I'm like, y'all,
disgusting.
You can't do this. I'm not. You're like, oh no, we gotta go back and we gotta unite this country. No, they can unite this country. We're not coming to them.
Yes.
We're not doing this. It's like y'all have lost your minds if you've seen the way that they're talking. It's like, oh my God, and this is not fair, and y'all cheated. Wow. How? Prove it.
How?
It's like you can't.
Tell me how.
It's like every time he tweets, Twitter is like, we can't wait until January 20th, 2021, because your account will be suspended.
Yes.
Like, y'all better get your Twitter fingers ready to report that, because honey, I'm like, we're reporting you on January 20th, 2021. Just want to let you know you will be gone from Twitter.
Please.
You're going to be gone. He says like, oh, we can just report you now. So we're just talking about the president-elect. We are now going to talk about the fact that we have Kamala Harris.
Yes.
The vice president-elect of the United States. She is the first Black, South Asian, or Indian, depending on who you ask. It's the same thing, y'all. I just want to let y'all know.
Yes.
Woman vice president ever. She is knocking down 3 different barriers at once.
Incredible.
So for Black women, this is our win for Kamala, but it's for also for South Asian women. It is their win too.
Yes.
Because they came out. They were like, oh, we didn't think we were going to see a South Asian person either. So we here.
Yep.
Nope. We got this. We going.
Yep.
Because it's like, yeah, I like Kamala Harris. She before when, because like, the primaries is like everybody and their mama throw spaghetti at the wall.
Yeah.
Kamala was my choice. Because I liked how assertive she was. And then when she had to drop out because people didn't support her, and everybody's like, Kamala is a cop. I'm like, you do realize the cops in California can't stand her ass. But it's the Kamala's gonna lock you up thing is funny on Twitter, but it was like, the cops don't like her, right? They're like,
that'll tell you something.
Right. She sent parents to jail. So I need y'all to understand what truancy really is. Truancy is not missing 3 days. Truancy is like missing 100 days out of 180.
Right.
It's like you have to get it has to be like, your child has only been here 2 weeks out of the whole year before they actually get you to have to come to truancy court. And then some of them don't even come. So
and it's like the level of neglect. And you think that person should just suffer no consequences?
It's like you
that
put parents in jail. You mean the parent that's not taking care of their child?
I mean, that the person is not a parent. They're an egg or sperm donor. They're not parenting their kid.
Y'all know what this is how you do realize truancy laws are not just in California.
Right.
They're in our states too. That's how I knew it, because my grandmother used to be the person that went to the truancy hearings. And it was like 100 and something days, 111 days, 118 days. It's like out of 180, and then they still wouldn't come. It's like, honey, that is neglect.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like you find out she's like, nobody ever went to jail. We didn't put anybody in jail. It's like people didn't do the research.
They want to take the little hot topic, the buzz headline.
She locked up Black people. I'm like,
that. It's like, come on.
So
it's ridiculous.
Are y'all? It's
reaching.
It's like, honey, this is the criminal justice system. This is not Kamala Harris's system. Right. It's like, this is the system we have. The whole system needs to be torn down and rebuilt.
Yes.
It's like, she did not create this. And she actually had a program where it was like she would get people help, but nope, this is not about that. I'm very excited about what's going to happen, because they're already talking about trying to get handle on the country for the pandemic. Back in March and February, we were laughing at Spain, when they had everybody locked down, they put everything on ice. They froze everything. And people were singing or playing like table tennis on their balconies. They're like, that's crazy. We are in month, 9 almost? It don't seem that crazy to me anymore. And it's like,
I don't see an end anywhere in sight.
Baltimore City is going back down to phase 1. It went back to phase 1 on Monday. I'm sorry, last Thursday. I was like, how are we going back down? It's like, because cases are going up, because also, this is also flu season, and it is getting cold.
Yep.
And it was like, there are people who are working in a hospital, like, they've been saying it for weeks. This is getting worse. This is getting worse.
Oh my gosh.
It's not getting better. Scary. It's getting worse. It's like, you need to ask people who work in hospitals. This is not, and it's not even winter yet. Winter is not until December, y'all. It's going to get worse because people don't want to just stay home. I'm like, I need to go out. I need to celebrate. I need to go to the wedding. Girl, if you don't go to the fucking courthouse and leave us alone or have a Zoom with, girl, I'm like,
something.
I get it. It's like you want to have some sort of normalcy. And it's like, I think when I say things or people like, you don't have kids, so you don't understand. And I'm like, okay. It's like, all right.
I'm a human being.
I still have to live. I still have family. I have people I care about.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm like, there's nothing out there that is worth anybody's life.
Nothing. And I'm sorry if you can't be around your own kids. That's your own problem.
You had other them. People. It's like, excuse me, before this, remember when this all this happened, people were like, oh my God, I gotta wash my hands. Wait, time out. Were you not washing your hands? Y'all ain't washing y'all legs, and y'all like, oh my God, why can't we go outside? Y'all don't wash your fucking whole bodies in the shower. Y'all don't wash. I'm like, oh my God, it's like we ran out of Purell, but all the soap was on. I was like, why don't enjoy the Bath and Body Works sales like I do? Because I'm like, oh shit, I can stock up on soap. But the annual sale, that's just me and you. That's me and Sasha. That's me and Sasha, where we're like, oh look. Annual sale of Bath and Body Works. Let me stock up on all the seasonals. I'm sorry. I'll be like, excuse me, I'm using gingerbread soap because I bought it at the last annual sale. They're like, it is July. I'm like, I know what the fuck month it is.
It still works. Soap. And it smells good.
Right. And I still got my soft soap. I'm like, I'm using all my Bath and Body Works soap. I bought it today. It was sale because it was like 85% off. I'm like,
wow.
And I got a coupon. Y'all better leave me alone. See, y'all ain't doing it. So I can't wait till January. I can't wait till the inauguration. I mean, after election, I had friends that literally put on their mask and went down to DC. DC is like 45 minutes away. They went down to DC to celebrate, okay? Wow. They were like, and had their mask on.
Wow.
Now, mind you got this Million MAGA March. Good Lord, I don't know how long. I don't know how many people will get sick after this.
Ooh.
Y'all ain't had no mask on. I saw them trying to say, oh, Diwali's coming up and we're going to see the spike in surge. I'm like, but you're not going to see no surge in the Million MAGA March, but y'all bringing up Diwali. Leave South Asian people alone.
Please.
And let them enjoy Diwali.
Please.
That's fucking amazing.
Yes.
Where is Family Karma 2? Okay, I need season 2.
Okay,
I love that show.
I'm
waiting.
I'm
my best friend in my head. Don't make me text her.
I love it. I love that show. I really do.
I love this so much because I missed out on Texacanas.
Me too.
And I was like, I could go back and watch it. I gotta think. I think it's on Bravo, but it's not on Peacock. Because Real Housewives of Miami, I didn't see it on Peacock, and I'm like,
I didn't see it on there either.
So I'm like, that was the only Housewives franchise I didn't necessarily get into, but I really did enjoy when Adriana slapped the dog piss out of Joanna because Joanna tried it.
That would be one of the ones that I would need to go back and watch because I'm like you. I remember watching it like sporadically, like little spots.
And I don't remember Leo the whole Twitter.
Yeah,
it's like
I would need to watch it as a whole.
As a whole.
Yeah.
Last thing in high key is Barack Obama had an interview on 60 Minutes. He's writing a whole book.
Yes.
And I'm gonna just give y'all some of the quick hits on that because it's a 30-minute interview. I'm gonna go back and watch all of it because I just enjoy hearing him speak because
anything. I'll watch him talk about anything.
I loved him. He was on, and the thing about it is with LeBron in the shop, it's not a set thing. It's literally like all of a sudden I see my DVR at the shop. I'm like, what the hell? What?
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a schedule, LeBron?
So he just throws the episodes out.
It's like it's not even a set. It was like sometimes it was like weeks. It would be 3 episodes in a week, and then all of a sudden 3 months later, here come another episode. I'm like, what the hell? But if you guys look for the shop on the HBO Max, HBO, wherever you have,
yes,
Barack Obama was their only guest. This came on right before the election. It is a really good interview, and it's just something about Barack Obama. It's his charismatic nature.
Yeah. Yes.
And it seems it's his diplomatic nature.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely tell that it rubbed off a little bit on Joe Biden. You can definitely tell. Being around Barack, being the right hand or the second man to Barack Obama for 8 years. Don't tell me he didn't.
Thank you.
Nothing.
You're not gonna be around that greatness and that excellence and not rub off on you just a little bit.
Not really say anything. It's like, ooh, baby. So Scott Pelley is the person who interviewed him, which he's some random white girl. We don't care about you. I'm sorry. That's so rude. That's so rude. I'm so sorry, y'all. Sorry, Scott Pelley Hive. Please don't come after me because, we don't care about Scott Pelley. Y'all do. Okay. Y'all on Friday night watching him.
I definitely don't care.
Minutes. I'm like, I
definitely don't care.
So Barack Obama has not called Donald Trump. He has not talked to him. He don't need to, but Trump has not he's not made the call to Biden because he has not conceded. So that's how this goes. So Scott Pelley said, what would your advice be to Donald Trump? Well, a president is a public servant. They are temporary occupants of the office by design. And when your time is up, then it is your job to put the country first and think beyond your own ego and your own interests and your own disappointments. My advice to President Trump is, if you want at this late stage in the game to be remembered as somebody who put country first, it's time for you to do the same thing. And he said, in your view, it is time for him to concede. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I think it was time for him to concede probably the day after the election, or at the latest 2 days after the election. When you look at the numbers objectively, Joe Biden will have won handedly. There is no scenario in which any of those states would turn the other way, and certainly not enough to reverse the outcome of the election. More than the courtesy of a concession, the Trump White House is declining to free up the usual funds and facilities for the incoming administration. President-elect Biden is not receiving secret national security briefings as Mr. Trump did when he was president-elect. What, in your estimation, would our adversaries be thinking right now, Russia, China, about the fact that the transition is not moving forward? Well, I think our adversaries have seen us weakened, not just as a consequence of this election, but over the last several years. We have these cleavages in the body politic that they're convinced they can exploit, which is true. There's an old adage that partisan politics should stop at the water's edge, right? That when it comes to our foreign policy, that is the United States of America, not the divided states of America. We met the former president at a symbol of America's past divisions. The Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery was a hospital in the Civil War. Clara Barton and Walt Whitman cared for patients in the building where the 16th president consoled his wounded. We joined Mr. Obama's peers in the gallery of the presidents to talk about his book. So that's where they're meeting. Because Barack Obama is writing a book, guys. I'm not going to read the whole. It's a 27-minute. It's not because I don't want to. It's just I'm getting emotional thinking about it because I'm like, we had this level of dignity and diplomacy in the office, and this is what we're left for. And it still boggles my mind that 74 million people said, I still choose this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like,
yep.
I can't even, and he won't even concede because that is the decent thing to do. That is the reason why he's not doing it, because he's not a decent person.
Right.
So he's not going to concede.
Nope, he's not going to.
I just need you to get the fuck out and go directly to hell. Which is why people
please.
When he said he had corona, I was like, oh no, I don't want him to die. Not before November 4th. I do not.
Right.
He can die November 5th. He can die now if he want.
Okay.
It's like, I'm fine with that. You will not see me shed any tears. I'm like, I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm like, he has hurt way too many people.
Yeah.
There are over 250,000 people dead. There are 11 million people with coronavirus. And for people who don't work in a hospital, haven't been to a hospital emergency room, there's a thing called triage. That was there before coronavirus. So they would triage if you need to actually be seen or if we could just send you home. What do you think they're doing with corona right now? When they don't have enough beds, they have to change over units that are specialties for something else, like maybe telemetry. They now change it to COVID. What happens to those telemetry patients?
Right.
It's like, this is a very big deal. And the person that we put that y'all, not us, y'all put at the head of this table knew how bad this was in February and downplayed it.
Yes, he did.
He signed the death warrants of thousands of people.
Yep.
And y'all still voted for his ass.
Still.
Because you hate non-white people so much that you don't care.
You don't care. It's sad.
Like, no, this is fine because it doesn't affect me. You can't look for the greater good of this country. You can't look past my nose. Look at where I live. You mean in the house that has a garage? You have 2 cars outside of your house and you have plenty of land, but I should feel sorry for you.
Yep.
No, I won't do that. No, I'm not going to. We need to be sensitive to Republicans. This is a hard loss. People, when Trump won in 2016, people got physically assaulted. People walked into businesses where they saw Latinx and Hispanic folks and said, "Yep, y'all about to leave. We about to get y'all asses out of here. We gonna build that wall."
Wow.
Yeah, y'all. I'm not doing shit. And I'm like, no, you're not going to actually try to make us feel guilty because we are the decent people. And the indecent people, you want us to be nice too.
Yep.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not going to do it.
We're not. I'm like,
it's crazy. People that they justify their reasoning. I have a friend of mine who I've been friends with this girl probably like 12 years. And she insists that her value system is set up to where she can't vote someone into office that is pro-choice because she was adopted. And I'm like, you're telling me that to my black face,
to your whole black face,
that's just what it is. It's like, an unborn life is more important to her than the lives that are my life that you're talking to, that's your friend. And it's like, it's devastating to me to hear that. But what's even more devastating is that there's 74 other million people that think the exact same way.
I have friends that are third-party voters. They've been third-party voters all their lives. And they are sitting up on this internet being extremely condescending and self-righteous, saying, I had to vote my conscience and I couldn't vote for Joe Biden.
Wow.
I'm sorry, but it's fuck you forever. And it was like, typically for third-party voters, I really don't say anything. It's like, well, the thing about it is, it's like when you look at the percentages, it's like y'all not steering anybody. Y'all not busting nothing up.
It's pretty much irrelevant, yeah. But still,
y'all talking is like ridiculous because it's like, as much as they're like, Bernie should have been a Democratic candidate. Bernie is not a Democrat. That's why Black people didn't vote for him. I really need y'all to understand this. Bernie would not beat Donald Trump ever in life. They don't trust him. You don't trust somebody who said we shouldn't do identity politics. And also the day after he won, we need to work with Donald Trump. See, I'm like, y'all not seeing this. You're not seeing this. Y'all can talk about Joe Biden all you want. I'm like, please tell me something that Bernie Sanders did while he was in office. You know who can't tell you nothing? Hillary Clinton. She's like, what the fuck he been doing for 40 years? He ain't done shit. I was like, I'm glad somebody else said it. I thought it was just me. I thought I was taking the crazy pills. But the rub is, if he had gotten the nomination, I still would have voted for him. There's the difference between me and a self-righteous third-party voter.
Thank you. Exactly.
He's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't like Bernie Sanders. If he won, I'd have voted for him.
I would still vote for him regardless.
Right. I'm like, because that's how much I actually hate Donald Trump.
And we can't afford it. We can't afford that.
No.
Their privilege allows them the luxury to be able to vote third party. We don't get that privilege.
We don't.
We get we have the Democrat ticket. That's the only ticket that is even going to come close to looking out for Black lives.
Right.
So it's not nuanced for us.
Yeah.
It's
like,
really
who's going to
black
help
or white.
us?
It's period.
Because when I'm like people talk about like there's a lot of good third party candidates. I'm like, how come we don't hear about them except at the general election? We don't hear about them in mid-season. We don't mid-season, mid-year. But we don't hear about them anywhere else. I was like, what else do they do? Mm-hmm. I'm like, they still participate in Congress. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, I need y'all to tell me what they do, and nobody can tell me what they do. Yep. I know nothing. It's like, I'm just ready for this shit show to be over. I'm tired about hearing about people like a wall. I'm tired about like, I don't want to see any more videos of this girl who is so numb because she's been away from her mother for months. And she's just like, it's like you watched a mother be reunited with her child after months. And the child is like upset and she's emotional, but I see numbness. It was just kind of like, it's like she didn't want to believe it. Like, my mother is really hugging me right now. My mother is really crying with me right now. Wow. It's like, I don't even know what I'm like. I don't want to see no more of that. I don't want to hear about trans people going, I don't know. I can't even, you love the military so much, but I'm a trans military person. You won't even, like, you took away my health care. You took away my right to get my hormone therapy. You took it away from me, but you love the veterans so much. Mm-hmm. I can't serve my country. You don't even think I deserve to love who I want. I shouldn't be able to adopt. If I'm a woman, I shouldn't be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do with my body. Right. A fetus could not connect to my fallopian tube correctly, and I could bleed out and die, but you want me to bleed out and die and not terminate the pregnancy because if I don't, I could die. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. Yep. Oh, it's a big fuck you. I'm like, no, absolutely. We're not doing this.
Oh, it's not a conversation.
It's not. It's like, I don't want to hear about your self-righteousness. I'm like, I don't hate you, but I don't have to see you. So I'm glad that Instagram added the feature where if you unfollow somebody, you can remove them as a follower of you. I'm like, yep. Thank you, because I needed that to happen. Like, nope, yeah, I don't want you. No.
You don't need to see what I got going on. Stay over there. Stay in your lane. Do you?
Right. It's like, don't say that you like you can't. See, this is and I think both of us can speak to this when we have white friends. That is the difference when you're a real white friend. I don't have to diminish my blackness to make you comfortable. Yes. My whole existence in this country has been made to make you comfortable. You don't have to learn about the history of my people and any other non-white person in this country, because history is not taught to educate. It's to make you not feel like shit because your ancestors killed off somebody, another race, tried to starve them out by killing all the buffalo, tried to kill them because you wanted their land, brought my ancestors over here like fucking property. And then you want to label it forced immigration. Immigration is of people. Come on. We were bales of hay. I know you fucking lying to me. Yep. He's like, you don't have to learn my history. So that's why you think that Watchmen created the Tulsa Massacre. Okay. There are people like, oh my God, they just invented stuff.
No,
that's Tulsa real Massacre life. Really did happen.
That's real stuff.
You get movies like The Green Book, which is like, oh my
God,
what the fuck?
When I tell you, so I'm in the first episode of The Watchmen, and when we shot that, we shot it not this past summer, but the one before. And the day that we shot that's the scene with the explosives and stuff, it was like on set that day. I felt so privileged to be around people that had a reverence for what we were doing that day. Like, it was like when we were in between takes, usually when they call cut, everybody starts talking, eating food and stuff. It was silent on set. Wow. Because this is real stuff we're dealing with. This is people's lives we're talking about. Yeah. People that we lost. So yeah, I mean, it's real stuff.
That is, it's weird to say I'm glad, but I'm glad there was a reference for it. This is not something we made up. No. Because it threw me off when people were like, and they had this fictional Tulsa Massacre. Wait a minute, time out, homie. That really did
wiped out a whole town. one of the first black neighborhoods to actually like have black businesses and be actually doing well. They wiped it out completely. Wiped it out.
Right. Because it was like, so when I was in high school, we had a school trip. Our class went to, because the movie theater was maybe like a 10-15 minute walk from our high school. We went to go see Rosewood. And that was our trip. And there's a part in that movie that I have never forgot, because that's how I think of whiteness and white supremacy in this country. So before the whole lynch mob started, and Don Cheadle's in this movie, and Esther Rolle, aka Florida Evans. For anybody who's like, wow, okay. So Don Cheadle's character is like a family, and he had a younger sister. She had to be about 13 and 14, but it's played by a grown woman. But in that age, it's like, in that time, it was like 13, 14, 15. You were like seen as a grown woman.
Right.
So the white men in the neighboring town to Rosewood was like being like they were sexually harassing his sister. So he came to them with his shotgun and said, I'm gonna need y'all to leave my sister alone. So they were reminiscing on that. And then they were just talking about his house. And they said, and then he's got a piano in his house. I ain't got no piano in my house. That's whiteness. How dare you? How dare that nigga have a piano in his house?
Yes.
And I don't. I'm sorry. You don't know how to fucking play the piano.
Right.
You just are mad that he has something that you don't, and you can't even play a piano. That is white supremacy.
Yes,
don't even mad if you know how to play.
Yes, it is.
The fact that you have something that I don't, which is why they always tell black athletes that they let them play. They don't never say that they busted their ass to get here. They always say, we let y'all play. There would be no sport without black athletes. Fuck you.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And it's always the slimy, creepy white dudes that are the owners and that are the managers that are running this shit behind the scenes and owning these black men. They think they own them. They trade them just like they traded the slaves, trading them the teams, owning them. I'll never get in that documentary, that Michael Jordan one, Scottie Pippen. Lock that man in that contract.
Yeah, that was like, wait a minute. Scottie didn't have. I was like, wait a minute. He's Scottie Pippen. What kind of
playing that man, owning him and paying him
peanuts? It's pennies. Like Scottie Pippen should be a lot more rich than he is.
I know.
It's like, and I was wondering like why, and it was like, so not only did he have a big family, then he kept sending money home, but that wasn't it.
No,
I just didn't pay him.
Yep. Flat out, just like, no, we're not going to pay you. Michael Jordan, everybody else that you play with, that you support on the court, they're all going to get paid.
Including Dennis Rodman. I was like,
yes.
But Dennis Rodman is a very good basketball. He was a
basketball he's great. Player. Oh, he's really good.
And I don't even watch the shooty hoops, and I knew that. I was like, play. So it was just like, it's like,
that was so messed up.
It's like,
but then the whole time I was watching that documentary, it was just like the way they talk about the athletes and the way they it was like they're objects, like they own them, like they're playing, like they're trading collectibles or something. You know what I mean?
Because it's like my brother was on. We were talking about it, and it's like we were talking about pieces on the field, and basically in the thing of talking about on the field, not them as people,
right?
Because since I've started this podcast, I've been saying the same thing, because I started this podcast after Colin started his protests. I'm like, this is just demonstrating to everybody who didn't understand this before. White people love black athleticism. They don't like black athletes, because then they have to think of you as people. It's like, no, you're just here for my entertainment. Yes. Why do you need to focus on this?
Right.
You are rich. I'm still black. LeBron James got nigger written on his house. This LeBron James, not 20 years ago.
Right. And that's what we're dealing with.
Kobe died, and there were still white people going, why y'all celebrate him? He is a rapist. It's like,
wow.
Yeah, but y'all want to send death threats to Gail? I know y'all fucking lying to me. Y'all didn't even, I'm done. Wow, we ain't even gonna waste our time. Oh, that's right, because it's a white woman. Y'all have no problem, because y'all will tell black women that y'all need to level up. White women are a success. Black women are not. It's like, oh, see, baby, we know what y'all doing. That's a whole nother thing. See, I had a rant on
Wow.
my spirit, and I had it when Cook
It
was
needed,
here.
it,
and I'm like,
it needed to be said, you know,
like,
it needs to be
girl,
said.
it's like y'all playing in people's faces. That's why y'all don't want Black women to be more loud, because it's like, wait a minute, no, don't talk about in-house problems. I'm like, yeah, because we're always the ones trying to solve in-house problems so they don't get out the house. But no, y'all want to invite people.
Yes.
And we're like, no, we need to fix our house before we gotta clean the house before the company come over. We don't mind other people coming over to help us. It's just when y'all try to step in front of us.
Yes, exactly.
Then we have a real issue. It's like, baby, don't step in front of me.
Right.
You can give me the platform and then
stand next to me. You can stand next to me. That's it.
That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't need, I'm like, oh no, I need to speak. No, you actually
No, you don't.
not.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
It's like, baby, you can shut
said enough.
up.
You said enough. You've done enough.
You've done more than enough. It's like, please leave us alone.
But we got one in the White House. She's in the house. She's in there.
And the good thing, she an AKA. Y'all gonna be sick of AKAs for 4 years. I love it. I'm not an AKA. I'm not in divine knowledge.
My mom is an AKA.
Great. Oh Lord, she ready?
Yeah, she's ready.
Man, AKA is gonna be cutting up on January 20th. Boy, they're gonna be like, let's go. It's all day. I'm like, y'all better give her some room. Y'all better have a line. I'm just saying. Y'all should have a step show.
They should.
It's like,
they should.
Ooh, I would love that. I can't wait. I just can't wait.
I can't wait either.
And then we're gonna have fun back in the White House. I told my mom, I was just like, we're gonna go back to having state dinners.
Yes.
We're gonna have the Congressional Black Caucus dinner. We're gonna have the correspondence dinner. We're gonna we're gonna be back to fun. It's like state dinners were just like lit as shit.
Mm-hmm.
But now country's like, oh, we can actually come back to America now. We can actually work with somebody. Great. Because he crazy.
I know.
You know it's bad when you make Boris Johnson look good.
Oh my God, right?
It's like,
I know.
Damn, shit.
I know. I'm so excited. I'm so happy.
I can't wait. I'm like, ooh, state dinners are coming back.
So good.
Like I'm going to them, but it's like,
I just want to know they're happening.
I'm like,
Kamala's there. She's representing.
I'm like, we gonna have a Salvation dinner. Diwali next. Every year it's gonna be. Sorry, y'all. I'm ignorant. I'm so excited though. Y'all just don't know. I'm like, oh, culture's coming back.
Yes. We have a reason. You have very much reason to be excited. I can't wait. It almost feels like it's still like it's not real. Like I'm like, is it real? Like it's like
you're holding your breath. Like I'm waiting.
Exactly. Like I'm like, okay, I'm just counting on the days till he's out of the White House. You know what I mean? Like when it's actually happening.
Right. It's like, I just need January 21st. It was like, when is November going to get here? Because this needs to happen. And now November's here. And I'm like, I kind of want to be out of the house when this happens.
Exactly. That's how.
What the hell, yo?
Get him out.
Listen.
Get him out.
This feels so good. Oh my gosh. So, y'all, I think we have a show. I feel like we do. I think we sizzling in my spirit.
We covered it all, honey. All of it.
Sasha, I am so glad you were the guest on episode 150 of the Mocha Minutes podcast.
And congratulations to you on 150. That's amazing.
Like, this is so crazy. I was like, I didn't even think about it. I was like, I'm looking at those like, oh my God, this is 150. Oh my God, this is great. But before we get out of here, first, thank you again. Second, please let everybody know how they can find the Bravo Breakdown.
Yes, girl. I'm at Instagram.com/the Bravo Breakdown, and I'm on Patreon.com/the Bravo Breakdown. I put up videos on my Patreon, few videos on my Instagram. Most of my content is on the Patreon, so head on over there and subscribe. And we're having a good old time. We're breaking it down, you know?
Yes.
Giving my black perspective.
Absolutely.
On all things Bravo.
Please definitely subscribe to her Patreon because that's where all the Potomac stuff is. And honey, the tea is hot.
It's
I'm
piping.
Like, yes, let's go.
It's piping. And I don't hold back. Like I already don't hold back, but I'm like, oh, y'all paying for this? Let me really give it to you.
She'd be like, child.
Let me give it to you.
Let me tell you.
If you don't stop.
And also she, like, if y'all have not watched Salt Lake City, I implore y'all to do it. I know Mary, like Grand Mary, as Ono Bravo call her, and I'm like, I can't not call her Grand Mary now. So Sasha's review of the first episode of Salt Lake City is up on her Instagram.
Yes.
Please do it. Please watch it because it's funny. It's on the what? Because she's funny.
Thank you.
Definitely subscribe to the Patreon to hear her talk about Potomac.
Yes.
Child, woo. So, y'all, this is episode 150 of the Mocha Minutes podcast. I will be back next week with Obi Ali King, Taria, and Kendrick. So Taria is from What Else Is Going On. Kendrick is from Me and You, Housewives, and Bar Full 2. I was like, am I the only person that knows that's an okay?
No, I'm with you. I'm
glad you get it because I was like, why you call it that? I'm like, y'all don't listen to Outkast.
Yes,
because I got you. I was like, nobody else got it except us. It's the black us. The black people like, oh yeah, that's an Outkast song. Oh, that's
Yeah, no, I got you.
So we will be back next week because we are having our own State of the Union for Bravo. I can't wait because I got. Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to rake y'all favorite person who loves coffee and love at the same time. It's a boppity bop, but I'm gonna drag her through all of them coffee grinds because she's playing in y'all faces and I'm about sick of this shit. So we will be back next week with my loves and after the holidays, more Bravo people. I'm trying to get Kelsey on here. I'm trying to get on no Bravo, y'all. Trying to get her. There's a couple of
get her.
I need y'all here. So I'm trying to get Monty back. So I got things in the pipeline. December's gonna be for Bravo folks. And as you can see, I asked the beautiful Bravo people to come through. But we're not just talking about Bravo, because they're whole people. And sometimes just talking about Bravo is like, I want to smack y'all.
We got to get into it. We got to get into it.
It's fun to do, but Bravo can be an outlet too. And let me tell you why you, Sutton, don't have a fucking kitchen in the back of your head.
Thank you. You
don't have no kitchen. Anyway, y'all, I will be back next week. Bye.
So this video is in response to something that I just saw. And that is, and I see the conversation a lot, is that men use the whole, we're hunter-gatherers, we're protectors, we're XYZ, but then they don't understand that it's more than physical protection. Like the same men who talk about they're protectors and then complain about women not going hard for them or women not having their backs, forget that we're also supposed to provide mental protection, emotional protection for women. A woman who is emotionally, mentally, and physically protected by her man will do just about anything. The levels of love and dedication that they will show somebody who covers them all three ways can't be measured. So ask yourself, the next time you complain about a woman or a black woman not going hard for a black man, ask yourself, are you protecting her mentally? Are you protecting her physically? And are you protecting her emotionally? Because if you're not, then you can't complain about anything. And to protect someone emotionally means that you also have to get in touch with your emotions. That's something that we don't spend a lot of time as black men doing. So again, rather than talk crap about black women who aren't having their men's back blindly, ask yourself, are you protecting that woman on all three levels? If you're not, shut the fuck up.